All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. Sorry, just trying to get rid of an echo on my side. Got it. We're good. Yeah, good. I'm doing okay. Had a big run this weekend, and I was explaining I'm hobbling around like an old man. It's funny. I got back home and I didn't realize my wife was home when I finished my run, and I just sort of collapsed in the driveway, and I'm like, oh, I'm here. I made it. And then she comes running out. Are you okay? Oh my God, you're having a heart attack. You're going to die. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just tired.
Anyway. I'm practicing my victory drop for you finish the actual marathon coming up in a month, right? Less than a month?
I'm less than a month. Less than a month now.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Friends.
And Matt, don't be mean. I'm not that old. Come on, man.
No, you're young, Peter. It's just, you know what it is? When you don't do something often, you feel it. You feel it. So, yeah. All right. Or that long. 30 miles is a lot. Guys, gappers list this morning. Everything on here today leaning to the red side as, again, we continue with the tariff situation. Officially in a bear market. Down we go. Everything red. And again, people are just starting to get concerned. We lost, what was it, Peter? $3 trillion out of the market in the last couple of days. Something crazy like that. So, again, that money's got to come back eventually. So we got to be just ready when that happens. You know, might not be soon, but eventually. Well, history shows it does, right? Usually after these big drops, you get big reversals. But the pain is here. How long it's going to last? That is a question nobody can answer. But look at this gappers list this morning, guys. A little bit of things in the green, a lot in the red, obviously. All your favorite tickers are down today. So it's going to be an interesting day coming back after the weekend. People relax. They thought about things, what they're going to do next. Can't wait to see what comes up. We'll dive into this in just a second. Peter, take us through our U.S. economic calendar and what is happening today.
Yeah, so, not much happening actually on the economic calendar. We have one Fed speaker at 10:30, and then the consumer credit number coming out, which usually people ignore because it is wildly inaccurate. Anyways, the number comes out sometimes way off the forecast, and anyways, I've never really seen the market react, but who knows in these market times? Maybe it will, because the market is skittish, and like you pointed out, Carlos, money has departed. The only thing I was seeing as a positive, I guess, over the weekend was the bond market. Bond futures were actually strong because more money moving into bonds, which is often what happens, right? Moves into bonds when it moves out of the stock market. But yeah, it's tough out there. I mean, global currencies, very volatile. I mean, this is relative to how currencies normally move, right? So if you're an equities trader, then currencies are still boring. But with the U.S. dollar getting weaker, it's causing a lot of fluctuation. And, we have to remember the U.S. dollar, at least at this point, is still sort of the global standard. So when it, sort of struggles like it's doing right now because of all the events that are, the tariffs and everything else and all the uncertainty, that sends shockwaves through the entire global market. When I look around the world, like global futures this morning, I think every single thing is red. It's funny. The only thing that's bright green is, of course, volatility. The volatility numbers are up again, and that's to be expected. But yeah, all the global markets are down. My goodness, the European markets looks like they're down almost 5% this morning. The Japanese market down almost 2%. The German market's down about 3%. So yeah, it's red. It's red. And we're seeing the same in the North American markets, right? We're down about 2% here in North America, just looking here. And it's tough to find some green. So we'll see what happens. I know that if you're listening to Pre-Market with Jared, he had a bunch of good advice and was, even suggesting, I know that there's been some talk. I was reading an article about is another Black Monday coming? And if anybody knows Black Monday, this is from the 80s, I guess was the original Black Monday. You do not want that happening today, but we'll have to see. I mean, this 2% gap is of note, but it's not really indicating yet that we're the sky has fallen completely. But it's worrying. If you look at a daily chart of the SPY, I mean, look, this is day 3 of just consistent downward movement after a gap lower. We've moved lower the previous 2 sessions, and it looks like we're headed to do that today. But again, I'm always, I guess just always playing the contrarian. I suppose that's just my trading style. But it's you have to be ready, because I have certainly seen big increases when you have these negative sentiments. So again, will it happen today? I have no idea, but you got to be ready for it. So we'll be ready, whatever happens.
Yep, that's it, man. Just be ready for it. All right, guys, let's get to the scalpers list. Let's start with the 3 that somehow made it green this morning. First one on here is BJDX. So we'll start there. BJDX. There we go. Let's see what's going on with this one today. So right now on the daily, we're seeing some nastiness. This thing was up at 300. Maybe I don't know. This looks ugly. The float on this under 1 million, I'm showing. So very light float on this. Pre-market action looks much interesting, and that is why we're seeing it here today on our gappers list. It is up 138%, 22 million shares traded. I mean, again, this smells like trouble to me, Peter. I'm going to stay away from it. But what is the news that is driving this up today?
I wish I knew. I mean, this is a Blue Jay Diagnostics. It's a biotech, or medical device company, actually, not even really a biotech. And I, normally I would expect to see some news about a new device or some approval, but I got nothing. I have no idea. Maybe there's not enough people following it to report the news, but I can't tell you why it's green.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for the style I like to trade here. Good morning, Kate, to Dow45 or on YouTube. He says the humanity. I guess he's just locked on and looked at his either his 401k, the charts. I don't know what he looked at, but yes, the humanity for sure. Next on here is ICCT on the list. Is going to be up 17%, 5.7 million shares traded. We've seen this one over the last couple of days do some stuff, right? Look at it here. Starting out about 4 days ago, just pushing higher and higher. This thing was a 0 or like a 34 cents, whatever that is, but making some moves and sticking to them. This is iCore Connect, Peter, and again, they're at it again this morning.
Yeah, I can't tell you why. This daily chart is weird, man. Yeah, go back on the daily chart. And keep going just a little bit further. Oh, yeah, there you go. Wow. That's the one you want. So, all right. So now we know how this thing can move. It's clearly out of control. I don't even know why this is moving. Again, no news on it really. In fact, there hasn't been any news for about a month on this of note. So why it's moving today, I really wish I could tell you guys. I'm feeling like I'm not very helpful. So, but yeah, ICCT, it was $2 a couple of days ago. It's up to almost $7, but right now it's you got to treat it as a super volatile, a risky trade.
Yeah, don't like it. Obviously, this looks ugly. And then wow, this is a blast from the past here. Teva, TEVA.
I still don't know how to say that.
Yeah, we gotta. I don't know. Somebody knows out there. Let us know. Teva or TEVA. But yeah, I'm sure. Our company name back in the days was called Haier, and it was spelled HAIER. You can't imagine how many people used to say hair instead of higher, right? Chinese company. And we did this sponsorship, Peter, funny stuff. We did the sponsorship with the NBA. And this was like, okay, this is our time. We got millions of viewers with the All-Star game. We're hosting it. And the guy, we told him this is how you say it. He goes in there and says hair. Our marketing team just had they had a heart attack. Like he
They
said it
lost
wrong.
today.
You know, he announced it. Yeah, this is brought to you by here. Everybody's like, oh my God, you had an opportunity and you missed it. So yeah, it's important. We'll find out how this is pronounced, Teva or Tiva. But man, we used to trade this a ton, Peter. I mean, a ton, and we haven't seen it in a while. But right now they're gapping up 5.1, 490,000 shares trade after the last couple of days really selling down. You could see that on the daily. But yeah, how what's going on with this one, if anything?
They have an announcement that one of their treatments is now available in the United States. I wish I could tell you how to say this. I'm trying to read the headline. I can only post it for people in the room. Here's the headline, but it's their biosimilar. I mean, how do you say these things? EPYSQLI. I don't even have enough vowels to pronounce that, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say there. And then it's these Eculizumab. That injection is now available. AAGH. Isn't that just pronounced AG?
Yeah, that actually is the way that is pronounced.
I don't know that I'd name my drug that. Especially it's an injection.
Maybe, yeah. That actually is very smart because if you're in pain and you say, the person can talk and they're in pain, they're like, you want this drug? Like, oh, you want that drug? Like, boom, just give it to them. It's good to go. So there's no compliance issues there. So, but yeah, they're in play here this morning. They're moving higher. They got some little bit of volume. How well is it going to trade? I am not sure, man. But again, it would be nice to watch something that's actually green. I just don't know if this is going to be it, Peter. What's your thoughts?
It's actually impressive this thing has managed to get green despite the overall market. I mean, it's good news, but it's, Teva. I mean, it's a pretty big company. So this one drug being available in the U.S. doesn't quite seem like enough to move it higher, but maybe people are looking for any type of good news to take advantage of it. Typically not a great trader. I have a fun place for this because I had some great trades when I started trading back in 2017 on it, but it really has not. Yeah, I watched it for a long period of time, and it's not a great trading stock. It really isn't.
Yeah, we'll leave this one alone, friends. Let's move on to something else. That pretty much covers our gap up list. We have one that keeps going back and forth here. Is JNVR. Let's just take a quick look at that one, and then we'll focus where the action actually is, which is all to the downside. So let's just start moving. Just starting to get the volume here. Last 5-minute candle on this one pulled 573,000 shares traded. You can see that right on there. So you're getting a lot of volume just coming in here. Man, it's a big move. 552 all the way to 960. That is your high of the pre-market session right now. So I'm going to put in a second there. Let's come back and see how that looks. But there's clearly some action here on JNVR. Let's see if this is going to turn out to be one of our low flows of the day today.
And it might be. I mean, they've got some news that a crypto company has acquired majority ownership of this Genover Inc. So that could be good news for them. A company called who bought them? Hold on here. What? Sorry, I'm just trying to read the headline, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. So, because it says an all-former Kraken team. What does that mean? Am I missing something? What's a Kraken team? Anyways.
Don't know.
All right. They've acquired majority ownership, but they don't actually say the name of this team or the company.
Is that
anyways, I guess the fact that they're being acquired is good news. What's that?
Hockey? Some kind of hockey team?
No, I don't know. I mean,
Seattle Kraken?
Yeah, well, I mean that's how it's spelled. That's the Kraken. So I don't know. I don't understand this article. It's the Kraken. Anyways, whatever's happening, they've got new ownership, and it looks like it's given the stock a jump. That being said, I mean, look, it's just happened in the last 15 minutes or so. It is not. I'm not loving it, to be honest.
Gotcha. We've been told here it's a crypto company. It's a crypto company, and they are an exchange. Okay, there it is. So getting some movement out of it. Looks good. The volume is coming in hot on this, guys. 1.2 million shares traded right now. Just look at this slamming higher. I mean, this is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So I'll have it here on my list. Oh, yeah, there it is. Breaking the high of the pre-market. This is definitely in play. So good news for them breaking out here at the pre-market, and this will be play for the day probably. All right, let's stop here, Peter. Before we continue, that covers our gap up list. Anything that you have that's gapping up, possibly somehow?
Well, it's since we're sort of on crypto, it's worth mentioning that crypto prices have been holding, or Bitcoin prices have been holding rather solid considering how much everything else has dropped. And that being said, crypto is actually down this morning. It had an early morning drop here. Is it all weekend? It was holding well at around the 82,000, which is where we've seen it for the last week or so. And then this morning, it finally gave it up and it dropped down to 75,000. It's now sitting at 76,800. So it's down from where it was, just in the last week, as I mentioned. But still, again, it's not as bad as it could be. So Bitcoin has been, again, surprisingly, to my mind, stable, but it doesn't seem to be immune to the overall market pressures. And I gotta, that makes sense to me, right? Like there is money leaving everything as people are getting frightened, and money is moving into mattresses and in secret hiding spots as opposed to being in anything investable. Other than that, I'm noticing a couple of green spots. Some of the ones that we were looking at over the last few days, MLGO, micro algo. Remember those guys? They are up it's marginally this morning, 2.9% on relatively low volume, only 200,000 shares. But I mean, I'm looking for anything that's green. And as I said, the volatility index is green, but that's all I got.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into the sea of red here, my friends.
Silver?
We look.
Silver prices
up.
are green.
How's gold? Is gold up as well or no?
No, gold's not, but silver prices are green.
Okay. Here, friends, the sea of red. Let's see what's going on here. We'll look at the top three or so. It looks like it goes by sector. Wow, crypto is leading the way here on the gap down, man. Look at this thing. They're supposed to be like holding on. This is supposed to be like a safe haven for a lot of people. Guess not. All right, that's Peter's usual thing on there. But yeah, they're leading the way here, man. They're taking a big hit, as you can see here. So let's dive into that. We'll do cryptos and we'll do Chinese tickers. I see some on there, and then quantum. And then I see also airlines had earnings. We'll look. I don't see them on here. Where are the airlines? I know that some of them had earnings already, but I don't see them on here. So we'll look at that as well. All right, let's start with what is this? AREB. What is this here? This is
American Rebel.
Yeah, these guys are down 17%, but they had a big day. This 17% is kind of a little bit misleading because they just had a really big day. So yeah, they're down 17%, but this to me still looks very bullish. I mean, they're just down from their highs from Friday, but for the most part, big day, guys. Opening around 7, going all the way to 20. The stock was just $1.25 just 4 or 5 days ago. So Peter, today obviously pulling back a little bit from Friday's high on this footwear. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, something that feels almost normal out here because, yes, they did have a big move higher on the announcement that they had some good strategic investments. So somebody putting some money in there. I was afraid when I first saw it on the list, I thought, uh-oh, because Nike was down quite heavily on Friday, if you remember. And I thought maybe this is a footwear thing. But no, this is just a normal pullback. So like you said, Carlos, down 18%. But I mean, like when you're up like 400%, what's pulling down? Like they're at still $15.90 roughly right now. And like you said, just a week ago they were sitting at $1.25. So still holding up pretty well. In play though, I really have strong doubts as to whether this is going to be a tradable stock. Looking at it on Friday, it actually looked like it wasn't bad. There was big volume in this stock on Friday, traded like 83 million shares over the course of the day, and the price action looks fairly decent. A couple areas of concern, like where there's some areas like right around 10:30 where you basically had this like no candle. You can see one on your 5-minute chart. When I look at a 1-minute chart, yeah, there was like dips in the volume, which always makes me nervous. I want to day trade something. I want it trading consistently every minute, lots of volume. But there is this 1 minute at 10:35 where like no shares traded hands. Like, how did that happen? It went from 1.3 million shares the minute before to 9,000 shares the next minute. That's weird. So, anyways, just because of little things like that, probably not going to make my list.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Let's look at the next one here. It's going to be XPEV. It's also on deck this morning. So XPEV usually doesn't trade very well, but want to see what this one is doing. We could look at other EVs as well. We'll look at Tesla in a second here. They're down 10% right now, 949,000 shares traded. And I do see other Chinese tickers on there, for example, like BABA. Is on here and some other ones, Peter. But is XPEV, is anything related to XPEV or just overall market drop we're seeing here?
I think it's just, I mean, there's no bad news on it. In fact, they just officially entered the Polish car market. So now they're operating in Poland. And I got to say, they've got some cool cars out there. I was watching this video on the weekend where XPEV, their new, what they're calling their ultra intelligent G9 SUV, has a drone option. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I just think it's so weird. Like, I'm not quite sure how you would use that, but their case in the video I was watching was, are you stuck in traffic and want to see what the traffic looks like up ahead? You literally, a panel opens on the roof of your SUV, a drone flies out with live video feed to the camera of you, and it will scan the traffic in front of you and show you what's happening. And then it'll automatically land on the roof, and the thing closes, and you're good to go. I'm like, that's just cool. That's a $2,000 option, by the way, if you want to add that to your Xpeng G9 SUV. I'm like, that's just cool. I mean, I don't care if it's functional or not.
I don't know if I use it to check traffic. Like, I got my GPS on Google Maps. I can check traffic there. I mean, would I use it if I'm, hiking or something? I want to see this problem in the trail up ahead, maybe. But like, I don't know how I would use that.
I think that's cool. I'd be a sucker for buying that option, admittedly, if I got it. I know I do, Jason. Sound like a kid. It's one of those, like, it's just such a weird option for a vehicle, but it seems cool to me. Like, I could see using that in other scenarios, right? Like, let's say you're hikers and you want to scout out, the hiking trails. You could, like,
before you pull off,
deploy the drone, and the drone would go and see. Oh yeah, it all looks good. Yeah, exactly. Just as Tunde is saying, cool, absolutely. Pragmatic? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm not talking about pragmatism here. That's no way. I own a Porsche. Come on, we're not talking pragmatic. Anyway,
that's a very big change from a Porsche to that. I can tell you that much. But yes.
Yeah, it's a little different, but still.
All right, there you go, friends. Some options for you there if you want a drone on top of your car. But again, don't see anything crazy on here, and probably not going to be the ones going to make my list anyway. There is BABA's on here, though. We have 3.8 million shares traded. Just kind of going over some Chinese tickers. You guys know I do like BABA. It treats me very well, so I am going to add it to my secondary list. I like the volume. I like the fact that it's down 7.3. And I'm going to add it here because I know my list, once it gets down to these names, the Teslas, the PLTRs, the SMCI, the Rigetti Spaghetti, I know that those are going to, be our top priority because we know we're going to get the most movement. So I'm going to add BABA here just to look at something different. We kind of spoke about crypto a little bit, Peter, but if I look at Mara here, 2.9 million. Hood is also leading the way. They're down 10% with 3.9 million shares traded as well. Again, I want to watch different sectors, right? So Hood is another one that I also want to add to at least my secondary list. How do you feel about those and Mara, Coin, and those other tickers?
I like Hood better than the rest of them. Like we mentioned last week, Hood is much more diversified, right? And which normally is a good thing, but they're diversified right now and in multiple sectors that are all feeling the pain. So I still think it's sort of a more interesting trade overall. Look, if I look at Friday's price action, it had a good drop right at the open, and like a lot of things sort of went flat. So yeah, the crypto offerings, just because of the recent drop, and it's the first time in a while that Bitcoin prices are as low as they are here, it might be worth keeping an eye on. So it might be worth putting a coin or a Mara or a clear spark, clean spark. Why can't I? Anyway, CLSK.
Yeah.
I just know the tickers. Clean
Yeah.
spark. Here you go. On your list, just to see what they're going to do. I've usually been disappointed because after the market open, they don't tend to move as much. Most of the movement seems to happen after hours, before or after the markets close. So I think that just you take your chances. There's going to be a lot that's moving. Whether it moves in a direction we like or not is another question. But I think today, we're going to see a fair amount of movement. Could be wrong.
Yeah, fully agree. I like Hood. I'm going to have that on my secondary. I might move that up. So I got both Baba and Hood in the secondary list. I'll add those to the banner in just a second here, and we'll see how that goes. I see quantum stocks making their way up here as well, or their way down here. QUBT, I do see RGTI. There's a bunch on here today this morning. RGTI is one that can trade very well. QUBT and QBTS I've also proven to get great volume. But again, it's just dropping down here this morning, going below their area where they have some support, or in some cases like QBTS, they're just right on it. After their pop up, it's just again coming back down one more time. The first gap down was, if you guys remember, NVIDIA CEO saying, "Hey, this is light years away," and then we kind of went sideways for a little bit, popped up again, and then right back down to that area where again they just keep finding support here, which is interesting. So, Peter, not sure if anything is up in that space going on.
Well, it's weird to hear that business is still happening out there. I guess the world keeps on turning, and IonQ and Rigetti are good friends. Were two quantum companies that were chosen to be part of a DARPA program. So DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. They tend to put a lot of money into advanced technologies for the other defense organizations. And IonQ and Rigetti were chosen. Now, they were amongst 18 companies chosen, but the fact that they were chosen for this DARPA contract suite of contracts alongside companies like IBM and Hewlett Packard, which you would expect, right? These are sort of the big names that tend to go after a lot of these contracts, is good news for them. So, but it doesn't seem to be reflected in the price. But it was sort of odd to hear, oh, look, they're still issuing DARPA projects. So I guess there's people who aren't fired over there. But joke, just kidding. Anyways, but it's not enough to keep them floating. I noticed that all of the quantum stocks are down more than the market average, right? They all seem to be down about 7% or so, 7 to 8% this morning. So might be worth keeping an eye. I mean, I guess I get it. IonQ is actually only down about 5%. But it might make sense why they're down. You've got to expect that speculative technologies that need to attract new investment and new dollars to keep the stock price floated, especially if they're a couple of years out, are not going to get that in this type of market sentiment. So I guess it would make sense that they would contract more than the average. And they are at an interesting spot. Like if I look at both QUBT and QBTS, actually even Rigetti, they're in an area where after all these recent gains, if you go back on the daily a little bit, you can see we're at the bottom end of this, of this whole big range that we've got. So if really people are thinking, it's time to get out of this thing, too speculative for this type of market, look where we could drop to, right? Look at the November levels last year. That's the potential opportunity. Before we even ever heard of Rigetti, this was a penny stock. So, it's quite possible that things could move down to those levels.
Yeah, 100%. We can't see that happen. All right, friends. So let's see what else here on the gappers list. So we kind of cover the majority of the stuff that's up at the top here. Let's hop around a little bit because I do want to cover some of our big names here, like for example Tesla. Right. So Tesla we're going to have on deck. It's one that has been trading with a lot of volume. Will be on my primary list as it always is, just because the type of volatility we can get out of this. Already 13 million shares traded, down 14%. I'm sorry, excuse me, down 6%, down $14 from the in the session. And you can see here the level on the daily, how interesting that's getting. We're getting to where we found support in March, beginning of March, middle of March as well, and then now again in April with all the tariff situation. We're trying to find support there again. So I like this one, Peter. Of course, will be on my list, but a very interesting daily as we come up on this trading day.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Analysts are cutting their price targets on Tesla, and it feels like maybe a little break happening here between Elon and the administration. Elon and Trump, I thought would discuss things in private, but Elon made a public call for the elimination of tariffs between the U.S. and Europe, proposing a free trade zone. Basically, on he was in Italy, I guess, on Saturday, and made this statement. So, which goes against, of course, what exactly the Trump administration has done. So clearly, that would be a call from Elon, the CEO of Tesla, versus Elon, in his other role that he's been unfortunately beat upon recently. So it's I get it. Like, I guess he's trying to make sure he supports his business, but it makes for confusing news, I guess, right? Musk was, I said, in Italy. He was with Italy's deputy prime minister on the weekend, and again made this statement. It's tough to see what's going on here exactly from a political point of view. And I know we want to avoid politics here, but as it affects the economics of the markets, Tesla. I might provide some trade opportunity today, right? I mean, we can see already 13 million shares traded. I mean, it is down, like you pointed out, Carlos, $14 or 6%, but I'm sort of hoping it actually holds here. Again, if I look at the daily, this is definitely an area that it needs to hold, or we're going to see a sub 200 Tesla pretty quick if it can't hold these levels. So I'm sort of hoping that it holds here, because frankly, it really doesn't do us good if Tesla and the other, big tickers here in the market really start to pull back quite significantly. So, and a number of them at areas where if they drop this, it could, you think this is ugly, it could get a lot uglier. So we'll see what happens today. I'm absolutely going to be watching it. Like, I don't see how I can't. It might not do anything interesting, but I'm definitely putting it on my list.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the headlines, man, from a lot of news articles. So right now, SpaceX and United are doing some stuff. They got FAA approved for some free Starlink on their aircraft. So that's good, positive news for both of those companies. And they're also getting together on this contract, multi-billion-dollar contract with the government. So SpaceX might receive that deal. And they're also partnering with United on some other stuff as well. So great. But when it's positive news, I'm looking at all these articles. None of them mention Elon. This is all positive stuff, but they just mention the company name. But if it was negative, Elon's name would be all over this. It's just interesting how that works, man. Just be careful out there with kind of news you're looking at. Got to give credit where it's due, and got to, take credit away when it's not. I mean, just be fair. Just be fair. That's all we want. That's what everybody wants. Just be fair the way you communicate things to the people. But yeah, interesting. All right, so yeah, Tesla on the list for sure, friends. Another one that's, again, these two have been back to back on my list is NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA also down here, as you would expect. We are down 4.6, 40 million shares traded. I think the volume keeps going higher and higher. Last time was around 20. Now we're 40 million shares traded. It's only 906. So this will be on my list. Yeah, it just keeps getting higher, Peter. It's crazy.
A $90 NVIDIA, that is... When's the last time we saw this, right? I mean,
I know.
We got to go back to mid last year before we were last year. So
August. It didn't last long. But I'm telling you, long-term investors, if you're sitting on cash, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on sale here. And you could, if it's long-term and you price your risk correctly, you can hold on for even a lot more downside, because we're probably going to get some. But, man, there's some stuff here that's going on super sale. I see NVIDIA as one of those getting to that point, right? But yeah, we'll be on my list, Peter. How about your AMD? What's going on there?
AMD has not been faring well over the last little while, and it's down. Interestingly, it's almost like Nvidia's caught up with it again because AMD's at $83, Nvidia's at 90, but yeah, I mean, I think that I like the semiconductor sector to trade traditionally. AMD has not been one I've been looking at, to be honest, because it has not traded as well as some of the others. So, Nvidia would be my go-to, frankly, if you're going to trade semis. And some interesting stuff going on. I don't know. The Nvidia fans, they're starting to rethink things. I mean, Bank of America provided a pretty bleak outlook, their perspective on Nvidia over the next little while. So it's um, so anyways, I mean, well, I should say Bank of America is saying they think Nvidia is actually going to sort of stay put, but stay put, like not grow. They're thinking that you might be able to hold in Nvidia better than you can hold in some of the other Broadcom, AMD, Micron, things like that. So I don't know. It's like it's day by day here, right? Because people are changing their forecasts. Keep in mind, we are what? We're the 7th of April today. There's another big day coming, right? The 9th of April is when a lot of these tariffs are supposed to go into effect. Some were right away, some are going into effect on the 9th. And it's there's a debate, I guess, as to whether will the tariffs actually take effect? Is Trump serious on implementing these? Or is this a negotiating tactic and he's hoping to resolve some of this and get some countries to the table and announce, a win in that he's renegotiated with them successfully before the tariffs hit. If the renegotiation doesn't happen and the tariffs hit, which is what the administration is saying, which makes sense, right? That's a strong negotiating position. You're not going to tell them that you'll let them off the hook. You got to negotiate to that point. But if all these tariffs actually go into effect, Wednesday could be another interesting day in the market. So we'll see what happens. It's so much uncertainty. Like I have never seen markets like this. Like even during COVID, we knew why it was dropping, right? We didn't know how long it was going to last. Obviously, when COVID started, if you remember, we had no idea it was going to be like a 2-year, 3-year, cycle of chaos. But we at least understood what was going on, right? As the world was getting shut down and things are crazy. This is different because it's. I struggle to use the right words without inflaming people. So, but I'm trying to just.
I could picture somebody behind Peter's camera saying, "Don't say these words," and Peter's just reading through them. Like, okay, I can't say that. I can't say that.
I desperately want to just focus on what the economic impact is, but it's a political decision that is having deep economic impacts. And again, try not to provide judgment. I actually saw this very interesting, and I won't go into details, but I just saw this very interesting piece about this might be the objective of the Trump administration and what they're trying to accomplish. And it gave me a different economic perspective on things. Again, it's interesting to see where this goes because nobody seems to quite know exactly what the true objectives are because that's not something that the administration has shared. So, but it's just I can just see the impact, and here we are, right? Day 3, big downturn, significant, market weakness, and anyways, no matter what you think of it personally, it's one of those where we can just react to what we see in the markets. And again, that level of uncertainty means we might see markets like think about it, even Friday. Like Friday's price action largely on these things was the big move down in the morning and then sideways for the rest of the day, right? As the market said, well, we're at a level we're comfortable with for now. Let's just wait and see. Maybe today we'll see the same thing, right? That open price action and then some sideways action as we head to that next decision point, right? Which I think is the Wednesday, the April 9th. So, it's I said I find it fascinating. From a trading point of view, just be careful. Jared provided some great advice on entering the markets. Whatever you do, you might want to size down a little bit. take opportunity where it presents, but don't take outsized risk. But then again, I say that almost every day because I'm just a risk adverse type of guy. So
yeah, Peter, 100%. It's one of those things that, man, he's gambling. If he's right, if he gets it right, it's gonna be amazing. If he gets it wrong, it's gonna be bad. He's gonna go to two extremes, right? So we all, no matter what side you're on, we're in this. We hope he gets it right. I don't care what side you're on. It's our money. We hope he gets it right and that we can make money all together. Great. 401k goes up. I don't care if you're blue or red. Doesn't matter to me. We all want to make money. So let's hope he gets it right. But if he's wrong, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pain. So that's just nice and simple. Whether you like it or not, whether it offends you, that's just too bad. I mean, that's just the facts, right? So there it is. All right. Perfect. Guys, let's get to our not our US economic calendar. Let's get to our webinar over at barebootTraders.com. Click on webinars here and you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today is, I thought it was Tuesday, Peter. That's how much stuff has been going on this weekend for me. I thought it was Tuesday, but it's Monday. It is Monday here. Monday. I was watching the markets yesterday. I'm like, oh man, we are hurting here. So I was like on market mode yesterday, and I thought it was Tuesday today, but here it is. It's Monday, and I'm also looking forward to my closeout class today with boot camp is today. So I'm looking forward to seeing these guys for their last time. And man, what an amazing team! They have done so great, guys. So Peter's gonna let you know more about boot camp and how you can join. But man, these guys have done well. Like looking at how they started, Peter, to where they are now, where they're ending, it's just incredible. So looking forward to talking to those guys tomorrow.
I had my last meeting with my group on Thursday of last week, and as always, right, you end up with a smaller group who make it all the way through and are consistent. But those who showed up, if you're here, congrats to you. I was really impressed with them. They have a plan. In fact, one of them, I said, use me as an accountability partner. Send me your plan so that when you're done boot camp, you still have objectives to go after, and I got a couple of those this morning or over the course of the weekend. So it's always impressive to see those that stick with it and that really get the value when you do that, and that's usually the case, right? If you stick with it, you start to say, you know what, I get it now. I understand some more of what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I haven't fixed the problems, but at least I understand them, and I'm in a better position to identify and manage them. And that's the key thing that we hope to give people. So boot camp, by the way, we got another one starting up. So this boot camp, it sort of officially ended last week. We've got a couple of weeks before the new one starts in May, but in May we will have our second boot camp of the 2025 year. We only run 3 a year, so this would be your second of 3 chances to join. And if you're interested, you have to go to peakcapitaltrading.com and check it out. There is so much happening in boot camp all the time that look, don't sign up unless you're really ready to provide some intensive focus. And frankly, you know what? You may look and say, oh, just, I don't know, man, like the markets, they're red, it's all down. This is a great time to learn to trade. I honestly believe that. Now, I'm a short bias trader, so these are the type of markets that I love to learn on, and I love to actually be able to trade. You can trade any market, right? Because as a trader, what we need, volatility. As long as things are volatile, then you get movement. You just have to take it cautiously, and you can take advantage. Some of my best days have been during market downturns. So I still think this is a great time to learn to trade. It's going to teach you how to learn, manage diversity and make sure that you've got strategies that work under all market conditions. And if you're interested, then I said, go to peakcapitaltrading.com and you can find information. There's tons of things that are happening. Like we have, even this next boot camp, we're going to have like live trading classes pretty much every day throughout. Like there will be daily live trading, which essentially are like, personal Q&A sessions, and you get to sort of interact with people who are actively trading live in the markets and in a much smaller and focused group, let alone all the courses and the material and the homework that we assign. And, it's a full scale course. So if you haven't done it, check it out. Anyways, peakcapitaltrading.com to check out the boot camp. And right now we got a deal there you go. Well, we can do that now. If you look, we've got this platinum offer that allows you to get access to the Bearable trading community as well as boot camp. And the boot camp, of course, comes with this $50,000 funded account, which means our funded account means you are trading in a simulator, but if you make real money, you get real money. So as long as you meet the conditions, which basically are just we want you to trade consistently. We want you to trade over the course, no small, low float stocks, a couple things like that. But it's really not that onerous. The intent is we don't want people just taking one big trade, right, getting lucky and then doing nothing for 3 months, right? That's not the intent. The intent is to help people trade consistently for the long term. But if you're interested in that, yeah, that platinum offer is fantastic. You get a full year of elite access to the Bear Bull trading community and all of those courses. You get the 3-month boot camp. You get the $50,000 trading account, the funded account. It's the best possible deal. So check that out. Plus, of course, you've got all our other type of membership levels if you want to check them out. So, all right. So that's great on that. For today, for all of our members here in the Bear Bull trading community, we have our onboarding class. Carlos is going to be delivering tonight. That happens at 8 o'clock in the onboarding room. So we'll go back to Monday here. And that's the big one that always happens is where our new members, we usually get new members over the course of the weekend. If you want to get oriented, understand what you can get out of your membership here and how to make the most of your trading journey, then you definitely want to join Carlos tonight at 8 p.m. in the onboarding room. Leading up to that, we do have 2 sessions as all of our team members have gotten back from all their various trips and excursions. As we had, I can't believe, Carlos, it was just a week ago that we had our live session in Vancouver. In fact, a week ago today, we were doing, we're doing the 3rd day of that live trading summit, and it already feels like it was a lifetime ago. So especially with these markets going crazy ever since. But anyways, everybody seems to be back into their offices and able to focus here on the markets. And Avi's going to be doing his options trading mentorship happening at 11 a.m. today. Once again, this is for our elite members in the webinar room. And then in the onboarding room, Brendan is going to be delivering his DAS series to help you understand what's happening with that tool and how to make the most of it. It is a great functional tool, but it's not always easy to figure out. So he's going to help you through that process and let you know what you need, and maybe some tips that you weren't even know that you needed that they'll help enhance your trading. So join him at noon in the onboarding room for that. So 11, noon, and 8 p.m. are 3 courses for today. All right. We're about 10 and a half minutes away from the market open. I know our live traders are going to be joining into the chat room soon. Carlos and I are going to keep going, obviously, right through the open, take you through, in fact, this YouTube session will be going right through till noon. We'll be live trading with you throughout, so see what we get. But at one point, we'll switch over here in the room.
Yep, absolutely. When Andrew turns on his mic, I'll disconnect from our room here. We'll continue over on YouTube. Friends over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. We're sitting at a market bearish low of 120 likes. We definitely need to get higher. So we'll love your help there for a pop to around 400. So 800 people watching this morning. You notice, Peter, that when there's a bear market, I see Brian logging on, there's more people that just come on. They just want to come on and see it's like the crash you can't turn away from.
Yeah, exactly. It's like watching the train crash or the car accident, right? The rubberneckers.
Yeah.
It does amaze me that we do tend to get fewer traders that want to start trading or join during downturn markets, which I honestly think it's one of the better times. Like, it's just as just as well set up, and there's just as much opportunity in a downturning market as there is in an up market. But I get it, I guess, right? Typically, the excitement when things are going higher, everybody loves when things are going up. It's easier to conceptualize going long, right? You buy something, buy low, sell high. Everybody knows that. What people don't know as much about short selling, and that takes a little more education. I'm a short seller, so of course I'm biased, but I love the fascinating prospect that I can make money on the downturn of a company's stock, and it's actually how I prefer to trade. So there's plenty of opportunity because things move down often faster than they move up. So you can make more money faster if you're trading the downside of things, but.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to be here to do it.
Yep. Friends, on my list, I only have Tesla and Nvidia. I mean, I'm gonna add some more. I have Hood, Tesla, and Nvidia actually. So let's do levels for that, and then as we go, I'm just gonna look at the overall market, man. Like I really don't know how this market is gonna open. Are we going to have a flush down, Peter? Are we going to have a pop-up, maybe some relief from all the selling? I don't know. You could flip a coin and you could be 50% right because we have no clue here. So let's start with some levels here. Let's start with Tesla. Love the pre-market 214.80. I'm gonna slam one there. We're gonna slam another one at the top 235 235.39. It's another great one up there, and you can see as we showed you earlier on the daily. We're nearing some of those areas where we had previous support. We passed this one. Well, we're right on it price action wise, right? But we're trying to hold on where we had some previous support. Now this is giving Tesla's big downturn over the last couple of months, starting in December highs all the way up. I want to call it 480-ish, a little bit higher maybe. And again, we've just been taking a pretty nice haircut since then. So trying to hold here on NVIDIA. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Towards the bottom, in case we lose that 214 area that we kind of build some support on. Whoop, zoomed into the wrong area. We're going to look at around August is the last time we were hanging out here, August, September. 206, and we do have another great level down at 199, 200. Probably be the level you want to put on there, so we'll do that. Now let's look at NVIDIA here. NVIDIA again, it continues to drop, so like many things. 86.03 is the low of the pre-market, actually 86. The high of the pre-market sitting at 93.58. We'll mark those two. And then if you look at the top here, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing an amazing job. So just an incredible job there on those. And then if we move over to May, here it is. Let's see what we got here. We got a great level right on here. It's going to be 84.29. Look at this. We're talking about 84.29 on NVIDIA as a level that we could potentially get back to, because we were the low of the pre-market was like already, I thought it was 83, but it's 86. We're pretty close to that. 82.59, and then all the way down here 81.21. Wow. This is it's exciting times.
Who would have thought we were talking these prices, eh?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at now at a hood. So hood is the other one I have on my list. I'm going to remove some of these levels from last week because they're overlapping our highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, as you see up here. High of the pre-market is going to be down at up at 33.37, and then the low of the pre-market down at 28.79. So 28.79. Good level there. And then we just got to go to the left here. November was the last time we were around this area, so we do have a great level here. It was a lot of resistance before we finally broke out. 27.26 on hood. So there it is. That's my 3 top on the list right now. We even have BABA as well, which some of the levels from last week are doing pretty good. 103.24 is the close to low of the pre-market there. 111.18 high of the pre-market. Also the low from last trading day on Friday. Highs and lows towards the top there. And then towards the bottom, I will mark down. They got a couple of areas here, but 98.85 looks a little bit cleaner, given where the price action is now. So yeah, there we have it, friends. That is my list. We have levels set, and just 5 minutes to the market open here, Peter.
There's my alarm. I got 5 minutes to the market open, guys. Yeah, so let's take a look at what our moderators are watching. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'll start with my own list because I'm looking at the usual. I think I'm going to focus on Tesla, NVIDIA, and Apple, see what they're doing. We didn't really talk about Apple, but it's just usually on my list. I'm going to watch JNVR. Remember, we did mention that a little earlier. When we looked at it, Carlos, it had just gone from almost 0 to about 1.7 million shares. It's now up to almost 8 million shares traded. So it's definitely in play, but it's not the type of stock I normally trade, but I don't know. I feel like maybe
this is for fun. And I actually do have it on my watch list. I didn't put it on the banner, but I do have it on the watch list here just to see the madness and just popcorn.
And it would be fun to watch. I'm expecting a guest here today. Actually, I might have someone live with me in the room. So
very nice.
No one really, but it's a trader who asked if he could come trade live with me here this morning. So I said sure. Show up at my house. So he's going to show up at the house probably in a few minutes here. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. But anyways, let's tell you what our moderators are watching. Nathan is going to be watching the Magnificent 7 and AMD. Thor looks like he's watching Apple, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Lenny is going to be looking at NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, and Amazon. Phil's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, and then the volatility index, of course. Avi's watching the usual, Magnificent 7 and AMD. Andrew, keeping an eye on Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, PLTR, and TQQQ. Pierre is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, and PLTR. Brendan NVIDIA, Tesla, AMD, and PLTR. You notice there's a lot of commonality here because we want to stick to the names we know, especially when we just don't know what the market's going to do. Brian is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, PLTR, and JNVR for fun. So he's pretty much got the same list I do. And Mike is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, and the scanner. So that's what we got so far. It's sort of a interesting day. Everybody seems to be just sticking to, whatever your favorite stocks are. PLTR, NVIDIA, Tesla. It's keeping it simple. So I get it. I get it. It's a little unnerving here today. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we sure will as we get closer to the market open here. So looking forward to it. Tesla is an SSR. Yeah, let me see. When's the last time we saw that? Tesla on SSR. Tesla? Yeah. So someone mentioned, they I guess, overnight volume. No, SSR. Yeah. Right on here. Interesting. Now, did they hit their 10%? Yeah, they did actually.
Wow.
I didn't think they did, but as the price gets lower, it gets much easier.
Apple here. How about Tesla? Wow, Tesla is on SSR.
SSR. Did they trigger? They did trigger their. Yeah.
For anybody that's new out there, SSR short sale restriction. So it's still shortable. You can short this stock, but only on an uptick, which means that even for just a moment, the price has to go higher by even a penny, then it can be shorted. So if it's just dropping, you can't short this thing.
Yeah.
So
the point of that is to prevent the stock from free falling, faster than what it would, right? So it prevents people from just hitting the bid, trying to go short or whatever, and then just kind of push it down faster. Still doesn't mean it's going to stop, a sell-off. It just slows it down quite a bit. But the type of market we're in, don't let that fool you. But we still can get a nice sell-off here.
All right, we're a minute to the open now.
Ready to rock and roll. 5-minute charts, my 1 minute. And
I don't have any big targets that I'm looking at for the open. I'm going to watch JNVR just to see if it's fun. PLTR is moving down. NVIDIA. I mean, I guess NVIDIA maybe if we get sort of a rising devil type action, this thing can pop up to the VWAP. I might take it for a short, see if we can get a drop. Apple is dropped into the open here too. So, yeah. Maybe we'll keep an eye on those. Tesla, I just don't know what it wants to do. It feels like it could go either way. So let's see what we get.
Apple's taking a pretty nice hit right before the open, compared to other tickers. So
that's $5 in 5 minutes here that Apple's dropped. Here we go. Here's the opening bell.
All right, ding 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 ding.
NVIDIA, where are you going, buddy? Come on, just give me a little pop back before you drop. I see orders on both the bid and ask. It's a little uncertain right now. Here we go. Somebody's trying to pull it up here. 88.
Well, we're getting that weird price action again on the 5 minute. Let me change quote servers. That usually helps. Let's see. Just looks very weird, very jumpy. Yeah, you're seeing it on the screen there too on the 1 minute. Like it's just not being nice. Let's see if we switch to something else. See if that works. There's just so much volume going through this. No,
there we go. Oh my God, what the heck?
It's not bad.
Yeah, this is weird, man.
Is it looking weird for you too?
Oh yeah. I just took a short on NVIDIA, and I hit the button. I actually got this great entry at 88.34. I hit the button to partial at under 87, and I got filled at 88.02.
It's looking too funky, man. Yeah.
I'm just going to put a stop at break even, and the price on my screen showed 88.10, but I got filled at 88.27.5. and I'm like, what the? I don't
Yeah,
know what
and
just happened.
it's not just me. Like even Andrew's screens is
Yeah.
just looking weird. This is just the amount of volume. These platforms are probably not used to
Wow.
seeing this amount of volume. I mean, look at this. And my volume is
Wow.
not even printing. Like it's not even showing here. Like yeah, it's. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Gonna wait for taking a trade. I mean, look at Nvidia the way it's working.
I
I
know.
mean,
I guess I'm glad that I got out of that because it
yeah,
certainly
there's
has
no way
gone
to
up here.
trade this the way it is. Like the price action is all over the place. The volume is not printing, and it just shows you the sheer amount of volume that is pushing through this. Um, yeah, and it's not
Bubba
just
is
DAS.
higher.
TOS I'm seeing is having some issues as well. So let's look at other tickets, right? Baba, same thing. Look at this. It's going from 108 to 107. It's not normal. All right, guys. This is we just kind of sit tight, wait, relax. I'm gonna switch cold service again. And just
I should
don't
have.
rush anything.
I was going to try and short Nvidia again at 89, despite all this, because it just looked like a good spot. But I couldn't, like you said, it was just so erratic. That's too bad because I'd be a dollar to the good right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna close my my platform, guys. So it's gonna look a little weird in a second here. I'm gonna open it again because it just looks so bad. It's got to look better than that. Let's see. Looks cleaner, I think. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, Nate, candles. Yeah, they're not even forming. They're not even forming here. It's just very weird in this
Yeah,
strike here.
I'm not watching the chart at all. I'm just looking at level two, hoping that that's giving me a little more accurate. It seems to be okay if you
Yeah,
just stare at the level two.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I don't I like I'm okay trading off the level two, but yeah, it is a strange morning, and we get this a lot, right? A lot of platforms struggle, especially when you get extremely high volume right at the open. It's frankly it's the market feeds, right, that tend to affect all downstream providers of data.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Level two is good for sure. But I like my candles, man. Well, candles is part of my my trading, so, but yeah, level two numbers are actually good. 31.44 on Hood, and Hood looks to be pushing higher. But yeah, it's tough to trade like this, that's for sure. How's Andrew? Andrew's good. He is live in the chat, and I don't think he's taking a trade. I think he's just kind of holding off right now.
Yeah,
I can't see his screen. Yeah, yeah, he
he's
hasn't
walked
taken a
away from his
trade.
computer. He's
Yeah,
not even there in front of the camera, so he's like, too crazy for me. I'm taking a break, letting things settle out. I do wish I'd gotten short Nvidia again at
yeah.
89. That's I feel like I missed out on an opportunity there. Oh well. I
Let's see
find that
here,
bill is so weird.
Anthony. So I don't know how much he lost, but he had a video. He had a recap on Friday. It was down like 750, I think, thousand. Um, but again, that's relative to his account. It's a big loss. Don't get me wrong. Let's not downplay it, but he Andrew will be okay. Will be okay.
Huh.
Still hurts, but nothing he can't
Oh,
recover
I
from.
shorted and I added to my short. Oh, that's weird.
At the same time.
No, oh, anyways, okay.
All right, maybe another sell-off coming here. And Nvidia looks good for a short, man. Did you get back in it or what?
No,
No.
again, I'm regretting not at the 89 or just 88.90 was when I was looking to get into it.
Yeah,
But I'm yeah, it does look good for a short, I have to
I
admit.
like
But
it
I
for like a
but it
5 minute ORB engulfing breakdown here, but could be interesting.
feels
But I would like to
risky.
see the engulfing pattern on here. But yeah, I think there's a sell-off in here, man. Definitely risky. Definitely the best entry would have been off the VWAP, right?
Yeah. Especially being that it's holding here
Yeah.
more than you'd like to see, especially right at the open. It's going to break. I mean, it's going to break hard, I think, one way or the other. And it's either going to be low of day or it's going to, push up over 89. It's just
I'm
hard to know
having
right now.
I'm having a hard time just looking at the level 2 and not the candles. I'm so used to looking at the candles, man. So I'm like, that's not right. It's not hitting that number. Look at the level 2. It's only at 87, 88. It's just not working for me. So got to realize that can force a trade, although I think this some opportunities out there. These candles not forming properly is a big part of the way I trade, right? So that's an issue for me.
Yeah, the charts are definitely displaying behind the level 2.
Yeah. Like, look at Tesla's already down at 220. My numbers are still hitting 221.40. So it's weird. Apple volume is higher than Tesla. Yeah, I bet. Apple. Let's take a look here. Apple is only 20. No, 21. No, it's about the same.
About the same, yeah.
About the same. Actually, Tesla's a little bit higher by about 1 million or so.
Whoa. We got some orders building on the ask here. It looks like people are trying to get it to break up above 88.
Stop the bleeding.
Sorry, on the video.
Yep. I figured with the price. Hood was trying to get pushed higher here above the VWAP. Also turned out to be a bit of a nice pop at the open. Trying to hold here. But the ask is just all over the place. These numbers, the bids are coming in. Fun to watch. Anybody taking a trade? I don't think even Andrew has touched a trade, right? Because he likes that red line too. Like this red line here, we love to see how this is reacting on the price action. He hasn't taken a trade because that's a big part of the way we trade. So kind of feel handicapped, without having that. Tesla short. Is he Tesla? Is he Tesla short 219? Let's see.
I can't seem to see his screen for whatever reason.
It took a while for it to load when I clicked it.
There it is. No, it came in.
The Mr. Doodoo. I don't dare. No, not Doodoo. No, Mr. Do, right? So DUE. I don't dare. I know that could have sounded so bad, but no, in a good way.
He made you say that.
He didn't even say it. I dare you to touch. I don't dare to touch this weird market. Yeah, Mr. Do. I'm gonna call you Mr. Do. Yeah, it's tough right now. It is.
Yeah.
It's French. Oh, see, it actually. It's French. Okay, there you go. Not just mine. I'm looking at Andrew. Andrew's having the same thing. I already changed code servers a couple of times. So yeah, something is wrong with my price action. I think it's just the overall volume that we're seeing here being pushed around.
What the heck? Now it's
just
getting
all over
worse
the place.
for me.
It's not getting better. Yeah.
Nvidia's showing on the chart $1 higher than the level 2 is showing. That's not good. Whoa.
And when this platform struggles, I'm telling you, this other ones are struggling probably even worse, because this platform is really good at handling tons of volume. But Nvidia's at 90 million shares traded, Tesla at 26. I mean, the amount of volume being pushed through here is quite aggressive. I am seeing, okay, Jonathan, I'm glad to hear that, because Lightspeed is another platform like this one that is also direct access. Actually, before I was deciding, that was one of the platforms that I looked into compared to DAS, and you're also having problems there. So yeah, it's across the board. TOS is good, no problem for me here. Nice. That's weird. Usually TOS is on the same side of things, but okay. Good thing is, though, Peter, it's not like the markets are running in one direction and we lost some opportunities. It seems a little bit choppier at the moment. So it's not, I'm not like I feel any FOMO like, oh, man, we missed this move, pop higher or lower. TOS, I'm doing okay. Good. Yeah, this is not working very well.
That's crazy.
JNVR,
Just
we spoke
checking
about
my.
it earlier. Halted on the way down, Peter.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
JNVR.
stopped looking at it for a second, and it is halted on the way down. So yeah, it didn't really do much at the open, did it?
Yeah.
Let's see, when should it reopen? Whoa, it's a long halt too. It's been halted for 10 minutes now already.
Mm,
So they're not taking any chances with this thing. Clearly,
yeah.
they normally come out of the gate with a 5 minute halt and then move to 10, but they just came out with a 10 minute, and it's been more than. Oh no, we'll see. In about 5 seconds, we'll hit the 10 minute mark. We'll see if it reopens. In
There it
two,
is.
one, right there you go, and it did reopen right on schedule. So there you go. So there was exactly a 10 minute halt.
Keeps dropping like this. Gonna get another halt right
Yeah,
here.
and it's again, chart's not keeping up with level two.
Your TOS is halted? No way. I got TOS. Let me go check. I never seen that before. TOS, by the way, is think or swim, guys. Let's see.
Yeah, Tesla did make a move down. It's just a shame. And Nvidia, it's a shame that the charts are just not giving us confidence, right? Because there are a
Yeah,
couple of
I'm not
moves out there,
comfortable.
but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not comfortable either. So
This is gonna be one of those days where I might not have an opportunity. Well, you know what? It's early. It's 9:43. We got tons of
yeah,
time, but for my 5 minute RB, my chances now are pretty gone. So I probably won't be looking for that strategy, which, as you guys know, that's the one I love to trade. So might be one of those days where we just hang tight. No, my TOS is working fine. As far as data, again, I don't day trade with this thing, but I do see the charts moving.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Let's,
Wow, wow. Market volume's about 400% what they normally are.
wow, that's
Like, it's
that's a lot.
that's panic. That's,
Yeah,
yeah, nervousness. Anyways, I mean, fortunately, we're not dropping like a stone in a clear pond. We're actually holding fairly well. I mean, obviously we're down, and we're
yeah,
continuing the downward move that we saw pre-market, but we haven't even crossed the 5% threshold from Friday's close, so that's good. But it's yeah, a lot of volume. People are definitely repositioning some portfolios here. Some might see a buying opportunity, others are saying time to get out. So a lot of volume changing hands.
yeah. Interesting time, man. So that's why I tell new traders, the minute you can start learning, because there's going to be a lot of great. What am I dropping? There's going to be a lot of great
Yeah,
opportunities, but you want to be ready. You want to be prepared, right? And I learned so much from the last market crash, that I'm looking to implement in this one that I wasn't ready for. So I'm hoping that experience can help as we navigate this market crash that we're in, this bear market. So, don't
I
start like
think
many people do for like when the market is green, right? Don't start learning now, right away.
right.
Go ahead, Peter.
Right. I was saying, I think I heard my special guest arrive.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
I told him just to walk into the house because I'd be
You're
talking
not
with you.
getting
So
just in case you're in a trade. You're not getting up. It looks like,
there he is.
man, tough day today, man. Tough
How you
day.
doing?
All
Say
right,
hi
look
to
at
everybody
that.
on YouTube. This is JP, everybody.
All right, he came ready, computer and everything.
Here,
Very
I set up
nice,
a desk for you.
All right, thank you.
You're good to go.
very nice.
So probably not the best day to trade together because, like we
I
said, the data
know.
feeds are all slow
Yeah,
because the volume is so high. It's crazy here today.
and it's also Monday, so it's,
It is. It is a Monday.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see here. Everybody thought it was gonna be his dog. Yeah, I thought so too. Like, let's have a guess. Okay, nice. I thought it was gonna be his the dog. I think it's his daughter's dog that comes usually. All right, friends. Yeah, this is tough day. I don't know if any of you guys have had an opportunity to even trade anything. The way this thing has been going. So I'm going to refresh again. I'm going to turn off my platform, just kind of reset it and see if I can actually get something. No, I'm just going to close it and close it out again, reopen it, and hopefully things are better. But friends, as we're doing this, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. I really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. We have over 1,000 of you guys with us today. That's awesome. We usually don't get that number. We usually hover around 800, 700, 900, but 1,000 is amazing. And if we can get to 500, man, that means a lot to us. So thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. So appreciate it. All right, let's see. Okay, looking better now. I closed the DAS application, reopen it. As volume dies down, things will look much better, and NVIDIA looks much cleaner now on my 1 minute. You can see it here. That's looking, let's get the 1 minute, much better. And the level 2 is matching up better. No, I opened my mouth too soon. I opened my mouth too soon. But it's above the VWAP here. 88.70 is above the VWAP. Could be nice, but I would love to see how the sales are forming. 88 on NVIDIA. Just don't look at the candles, look at the level 2, and looks like it wants to pop. Just basing it off the level 2, so looks like we might get a nice little move up here. We're going for 89. Wow, heavy ask on the level 2 at 89. We just went through that, so that's pushing pretty nice above that. That's awesome. This would have been a trade I would have taken, I think, above the VWAP here for still a 5 minute ORB breakout, because here's your 5 minute high, right? It's the breakout that's happening. So we're price actions right now at 89 right here, and 89.50, 90. Wow, this is going. What a great breakout there on NVIDIA.
It's crazy, Carlos, to watch the charts, because they're not keeping up with the price, right? Like my chart is jumping all over the place. The price is pretty steady at 89.60, but my chart's like between 88.60 and 89.60.
And this right here, you guys, by now you're gonna learn how me and Peter trade. You're gonna learn our style, and by now you guys know that I love to look for this breakout candle above the VWAP. I say this often, over and over again. I love this pullback on the way up or on the way down. If it's a short, that is where we get in. I would have definitely got into this trade if I would have saw it, but I'm seeing it now. It's printing after the fact, right? I saw the action on the level 2, but the visualization is so important for the way I trade, right? So that would have been a trade I would have been in right now, probably a partial already. So again, this issue costing a little bit of havoc for us, as you can see, but it's okay. We'll get more opportunities. Yeah, the 5 minute. I do see the 5 minute. Yeah. If you look at the 5 minute here, here's the 5 minute, right? So this is still your 5 minute breakout right there, happening right here. So, and it's continuing. It looks like it wants a little pullback, 89.70. But yeah, that's still considered 5 minute ORB. You can do this up to an hour, right? It starts losing strength once you get, past a certain amount of time. But up to an hour, you can take that 5 minute ORB breakout.
It's funny. A member in our room was posting to say that they said, "Oh, try this server; it works well." And I don't even have access to the one that they're pointing at. I don't know how they decide who gets what server.
That's interesting. Let me try that. Let me see if I have that. Also, if you have DAS, I know I got an email from DAS because I guess I have an older version. I haven't upgraded in a while, but I have to upgrade, or else they're gonna block. They're gonna block it like in a couple of days, because it's I guess it's discontinuing certain older versions as NVIDIA pushes higher. Friends, I would have been in this trade, Peter. Come on.
Again, my chart is. I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah, it says NVIDIA. Looks like the price is over 90. What is your what is your chart?
Level 2 is Level 2 is over 90.
But yeah, but look
man,
at look at the red line pop up and down. I can see
oh yeah,
that,
it's all over
right?
the place. Yeah, it's not matching up at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't have that quote server he's talking about, and it's just not working.
Wow.
Das is telling me to make
Yeah.
trades on the broker's end. That's not a great answer. Should be like whoever tells you to be fired. That's not a good answer. That's a program. That's not the sales guy's telling you. That's a programmer. Like that's your solution. Your product is not working. You're telling me go make trades over there. No, say hey, don't trade today. You know we're having problems. Admit you're at fault. You're having issues. You're working on it, and move on. Go trade on the broker's side. Disrespectful. I'm sorry, but I just you know what like. If you just be honest, like you have an issue, your platform is not working. Now you're gonna tell a trader go trade on a different platform or a broker. Come on, what kind of answer is that? Should be fired. Oh man. Tesla looks good. Long here. Yeah, they work on the issue, but don't say go trade somewhere else. You know, what if your trading plan is on DAS and that's the way you trade? So bad answer. But I love those guys. I love their platform. It's just not working right now. And that's okay. It happens. It happens. Wow, NVIDIA breakout to 91. We're there it is, 91. And man, pushing higher. We are getting what is Tesla is just all over the place. Let's look at Tesla. And it's so weird because I'm looking at my Tesla and Andrew's Tesla, and it doesn't look the same.
Yeah, I just restarted my platform to see what it would give me, and the charts are taking a while to snap in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. It's funny. Like I look at my chart, it looks different than yours.
It might look different than Andrew's. Andrew has a huge spike on Tesla all the way down.
Yeah. See, that's what I was getting across the board. What have you got on NVIDIA? What does NVIDIA look like to you?
NVIDIA's just hopping around all over the place.
See, yeah, but you just have sort of green candles on the way up here. I've got this giant red candle that it keeps drawing this red candle, and then once the minute closes, that candle disappears and it replaces it with a green candle. So
it doesn't make sense. Maybe depending on what quote you're in, I don't know. Yeah. Andrew did take a long in PLTR.
Actually, I've got a big red candle on everything in the active minute. That is strange.
NVIDIA is just a long, man. I don't think NVIDIA has dropped down to where you're saying, at least on the level 2, right? This thing has just been watching the level 2. It's been up and up and up. We're going to 92 now. My price is still stuck at 91, but it is on fire, man. We're getting a nice run here across the board on a lot of these tickers. I mean, NVIDIA's down 2% now and looking for that high of the pre-market, 93.60 at the moment. So, yeah, and again, I don't think it's DAS. I think it's just all the platforms are having some glitchiness, right? So we won't blame DAS. It's just overall, I think there's just the amount of volume, right? This is not normal. Even on lower volume stuff like Baba's not trading a lot of volume. I'm still getting this funkiness here. So yeah, someone mentioned APP. What's going on there? APP, app loving. No, app loving is APP. Too many A's in there.
APP, yeah.
APP. There we go. Yeah, it's pushing. Wow, look at that. Nice move up 2.6. Yeah, nice. Wow, JNVR pushing up, guys. It is halting out to the upside. It's just madness. People are trading this, but it's all up to the upside. 300 and that's that right? 347%. Yeah, because we started the day around $4 from the previous day close, right? So up 347%. This thing is just crushing it here. A very risky day to trade, especially given the way the platform is acting here.
Well, yeah, in 30 minutes, it's only traded, what, five? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hasn't been much. Um, so let's see here. I think it might have opened up already. I see the bids moving around. Yeah, so it's open,
uh,
and
is
it
it?
seems like it. I
No.
can't tell. No, it's
No,
still
it
closed.
halted
No.
at 9:54 and 19 seconds. So basically, you can just add 5 minutes to that. So it
Yeah.
should be 9:59 and 19 seconds. So we got 2 minutes until this thing opens. The bid and ask will continue to change as people, place and remove
Yeah, no,
orders.
I got
They just
confused
don't
because
get
you know
executed.
how it usually tells you it's halted and you get the little banner? I don't have that for
Oh
some
no?
reason. No, no, on
Oh,
mine, look, it's empty. So I thought it all had opened up when I saw it moving,
okay. I see it
but
on
it's
my
not
side.
showing it. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that quote server I went to was not great. Um, let's change it to something else. Ah, this is better. Peter, I got a better one now, hopefully. Now I can see it. Yeah, much,
Yeah.
much better. Access to the quote server does make a difference. Man, Nvidia, wow. I would have been in this trade. I know it. Look at Nvidia go, man. 93. And just a little pullback here happening on the. Again, I'm just placing everything on the level 2, really. Actually, let's put this over here. Let's put this over here. There we go.
I don't know
Yeah, so
about that.
93.
This is
Very
nuts.
nice. It's just the charts, right? The charts, Elia, are not working well on DAS, but then the level 2, it's working good. Look at that, 93.50 on Nvidia heading higher. So we're pushing. Andrew is in PLTR. So PLTR for Andrew.
PLTR.
There it is. He's long. He got long at 69. Long at
Of course you
69.
did.
Of course. We're right. Where else would he would get with those red couches? So there it is, long there, and then
I wasn't even going there, Carlos. Come on,
and then oh man, then he took some off
Oh,
at 71, and he's just riding this thing, man. He's heading up to 72 something here, so really nice, really nice. CFC, good buddy of ours, man. What's your name? You've been with us since like the beginning of YouTube, period, like the whole beginning of YouTube completely. So good to see you hanging out here. What's your name though? I would like to know your name because you've been like a YouTube member for a very long time here with us. Oh, Craig, very nice. Those are your initials. Okay, got it. Good to have you, man. CMCI. Another partial at 72 from Andrew. CMCI. I'm sorry, SMCI. Excuse me, SMCI.
at least
Yeah,
it's interesting to see Andrew seeing some of the same things I am on my chart, where you got this weird price that's jumping up and down. I
yeah,
like how he's persevering though. He's trading it anyways, not
yeah.
letting it frighten
If
him.
you, if you, like you said, if you focus solely on level 2, you can trade because that's where your field's gonna come off. But I mean, it just shows me how much I depend on the charts here, at least for me,
Yeah.
for the way I trade, right? Like if I can, it'll take me a bit to get used to it to trade off just to level 2, but it is doable. I just don't see an opportunity now with everything running up so much. Nvidia at 94. Wow. Who had earnings today? Was it Delta? I think it was Delta. Or they have earnings coming up. Hold on, don't quote me yet.
Delta.
Week ahead. Yeah, we're starting our starting up again. It goes quick. But earnings week ahead, yeah, Delta. Yeah, we got
They're
a
on
few coming up.
no. Delta comes out April the 24th.
Oh, really?
Yeah. United April 15th. What else we got?
You sure?
Oh no, you're right. Sorry, Delta is
April 9th.
sorry, I was
Yeah.
looking at the wrong. I was looking at American Airlines. American Airlines is the
Okay.
24th. Delta's Wednesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
Delta Wednesday. Yeah. And then
Wednesday
we got
morning.
we kick it off, guys, on Friday. The banks, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan. So interesting earnings coming up, given how the market is too. So should be fun. United on Tuesday. So then we'll start kicking off our live streams for earnings again. Once we start getting some of the bigger names reporting in the afternoon.
Look at that. I just lost connection to the quote server again.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold off here. American Airlines. I thought it was gonna go lower.
No, they're completely offline. Here we go. We're back. They're clearly struggling, right? It looks like they're trying to reset things on their end. So it's
is Andrew fist pumping? I didn't see him fist pumping. He's in a good trade, but I don't know if this is fist pumping trade given how the market is. It's like it reminds me of Kobe Bryant. If you guys love basketball, he there was one guy where he did a great play, and he starts high fiving everybody. He wasn't playing at this point; he was already retired. But they show him this clip. He did a great play. He starts high fiving everybody and screaming, "Yeah, yeah!" And it's like you're still losing the game. And he looked at that video. He was like, "That would never happen if I was still in the team. Like you're not celebrating your play when we're still down like 20 points."
So this weekend, if you're a hockey fan, this weekend there was a monumental event in hockey where Ovechkin surpassed Wayne Gretzky's goal scoring. So he scored. Ovechkin scored his 895th goal, which surpasses what people thought would be a record that would never be beat, where Gretzky scored 894 goals in his career. So, anyways, they were playing against New York, and Ovechkin went and did a celebration. They actually stopped the game for like 20 minutes and did a whole ceremony recognizing the fact that he's now the all-time goal scorer. If I was a coach, I'd be upset. You stopped my game. Like, it's just a stat. I mean, I get that. All right, it's sort of an important stat, but still, stop in the middle of the game. Really? I don't know.
Well, we did it for the NBA too when LeBron got the all-time scoring. Same thing, and
Really?
I think Will Chamberlain was there, and then he passed the ball over to him because he held the record before, so it was pretty nice. But yeah, you're right. If I'm the team that's not being celebrated, I'm like, what is this crap, right? But they do that a lot. Sports have become so much of an entertainment and
I guess so.
it's commercialized. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hockey's got like 4 periods. Like, do it between periods. You didn't have to stop the middle of the game. Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, but
Drama,
yes,
man.
it was. Anyways, we've got a new all-time scoring leader. I mean, Ovechkin said he was only playing this season to beat that record. Like, that was the sole purpose of playing, just to be able to beat Gretzky's record. So Gretzky was on hand to do a little speech and to congratulate him. And anyways, so I get it was a thing, but
sports have changed, man, all over since back, back in the days. I used to love basketball when Michael Jordan and all those guys were in it, but it's not the same anymore. And I love LeBron. LeBron is a great player, awesome. I think he is up there with him and Jordan, and Kobe. But the league itself is made some rules that are just more for. I got disconnected, and
me too. I think they're trying to reset the systems, Carlos, at their end, because I just got disconnected as well. So.
All right, connected again. We log back in. Okay, looks good.
It looks better.
Looks better, right
now. At least the level 2 is matching with the charts.
Yeah, I'm not getting that red line bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah. Nvidia's actually green.
yeah, that looks good. We're back to normal. All right, let's see what we can get here, friends. OKC will win the title this year. I don't know, man. I don't follow enough to know. I just watch the highlights because I still love the sport. That's what I played in junior high school and growing up in New York, because we don't have baseball fields. No space for baseball fields in New York. Everything is basketball, concrete jungle. So yeah, it's it's fun, but it's just the league is not the same, man. It has gotten very soft. Like
Soft,
many
is it?
people in the world, it's gotten very soft. It's crazy. So it is what it is.
Ooh. Now you're making a statement, Carlos.
I mean, Peter, yeah, we can go all over the place. Me and you have to have a separate show, Peter, called Outside of Trading, that we do like after hours, like we record like at 8 p.m. at night, and we could get into all that stuff. It's probably do better than this trading, because trading today, me and you're probably the most boring trader compared to Brian and Andrew in the chat. If you want to see those guys, by the way, you can head over to betwithtraders.com, click on that special for $19, gets you in for a whole week. You can look at these guys trade, and they trade the open quite a bit. But me and Peter, we're very steady with our trading as far as how many trades we take. But yeah, Peter, I think we'll do good. We should do that. Outside of Trading after hours. Could be very interesting. That would probably get canceled. That would get canceled.
Probably.
Okay, let's see here. NVIDIA, Tesla, JNVR halted to the downside now, so it went up, shot up to 21 and slammed back down to 17, so that is halted here. I definitely feel like I've been robbed of my good old strategies here on PLTR, 5-minute ORB, Hood, 5-minute ORB as well. Beautiful breakout here. NVIDIA was the one I was looking at, and I called it. But again, not having the visuals were very tough to take this trade. So I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball right now to look for an opportunity. Yeah, charts are working now, Kevin. If you want, it looks like they kicked us out. They forced us out of the platform, and then it reconnected again, but close it and reopen it, and they're working perfect now. Everything's matching up lovely. So I'm looking for an opportunity now and see what we can find here. Let's see here. Yeah, and I'm surprised that hockey has still been able to keep some of this toughness, right? Because they still do their fights, and it's part of their culture and their game. But the NBA was tough, like a little elbow here and there, was fine. But now and it's not whether LeBron's for or not. It's just the league has made it so commercialized, right? That you curse out loud and you get a technical. Like, really? We had people giving middle fingers and giving the chokehold sign Reggie Miller. Like, these were the days that was fun. But now we're catering to, this, I don't know who came up with this idea of this softness. And it's just not the same. And I believe that if the league didn't change, I think LeBron would all the players would have to build up to that toughness, right? Because you adapt. If you're a great player, what great players do, they adapt, right? Steph Curry, he adapts, right? If you're great, you adapt. But it's just the league has taken away that sense of toughness. So
rant, Carlos, rant.
Yeah. No, this is yeah. We can. This is oh no, don't do that. We're back at it. NVIDIA is just. I'm going golfing.
Yeah, the charts have fallen off again.
Yeah.
What the heck?
It's not working again.
We were good for like all of 5 minutes, and then not even.
My goodness, look at Andrew's still in POTR, and POTR is at 75, and he got in at 69. I mean, he is straight crushing this thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't add. He just took very decent partials and just incredible. Wow, what he's
PLTR is about to get halted, I think, if I can trust the data. They're gonna get topside.
Is there news? The spice is gone green. Let's go. All right, is my 401k back above water here? Are we? This is a great recovery, guys. Okay. Oh, my position's up 5%. That's good. So we're down like a bunch
I don't
this
see any
morning. So
news on PLTR. I don't see.
okay.
Yeah.
No, man, it's just overall market. Look at the SPY. SPY's actually gone green.
Yeah.
This is not fair. But no crying in the casino. But it's not. When Andrew said that, it's funny. No crying in the casino, but it's not a. He got it from someone that said, I forgot who did on national TV. No crying in the casino, but man, I'm crying because this issue with the platform has prevented me from taking trades today. So I'm crying in that sense of some lost opportunities. RGTI. Wow. We talked about this. Quantum stocks holding here, right? Look at this go. So that is nice. This is just not right. But speaking of toughness, I'm not going to go to DAS and cry. Say, hey, you lost me $800 because I couldn't get in on NVIDIA today. So, you know, that you can't do that. Got to be tough and just deal with it.
Well, I mean, look, what were we telling everybody this morning, Carlos, right? You got to be careful. In the big downturn markets is when you can get the largest increases.
Yeah.
So, you know, today, like we said, don't presuppose which direction things are going to go. Again, we were looking very red this morning. And sure enough, markets have rallied. Might have been tough to trade, but it doesn't eliminate the overall direction here.
Yeah. So I see some people trade it. Any of you guys take a trade? Obviously, Peter, you haven't taken a trade yet, right?
I tried that little trade right at the open on NVIDIA, man. I got stopped out right away. So
yeah, and I think that was before we knew there was some kind of issue happening, right? Like it still was good, and then it got really bad, right? Yeah.
But it's okay because I was trying to go short, and clearly NVIDIA was not a short. So
yeah. All right, so let's see here. Long NVIDIA since 9:45. Good. What else, friends? What else you guys are in this morning? This is crazy. Never seen SPY like this before. We did see it during COVID. We saw these crazy drops and these crazy recoveries, and then we'll sell off again. But we did see that. RGTI is just insane. MSTR, let's take a look. What a time to be a trader. Yeah, same thing here. Look at the pop. Very nice.
JNVR, our fund stock, is halted again on the way down this time. It hasn't been open for more than a minute each time, and then it halts again. So
yeah, Peter, how we did that again? We did run me through this. We did price. How did we get the bars? Because I forgot to save it.
Data config.
Data config.
Data configure, yeah. And then blank bars automatically. You want to click that.
Okay.
There you go.
Here it is. Okay. And let me save this. Save settings, default. Okay, so keep it like this. Very cool. Then I gotta load this on my second chart. And default. Perfect. Okay, now we got it. Yeah. Opening up here looks like. Let's see. Down to 15. But this thing is up almost 300. It's just wild. PLTR going above 80. I know that if Andrew had if he had good price charts action, he would have added, because the way the charts look, he would have seen a visual of possibly being able to add here on 73. He would have definitely added there. But again, he's able to trade off the level 2, but I'm sure not having the charts showing you the story will probably made it a little bit more tougher to add in that situation. But his style of trading, we've seen over and over again. That's usually a place to add for the breakout above 74.
Yeah, well, look, and Paris seems completely undaunted, which makes sense. He barely uses the charts. He's a level 2 trader, so
yeah.
Look at his trade posted in the chat room. Look at that.
Tesla.
What an entry.
Oh my, oh
And
my.
then look at the move he got. Yikes. In at 228,
Look at this.
it looks like. Wrote it
Yeah.
up for $20.
Yeah, that is very nice. Great job there,
Well,
man. We'll be having him on shortly here at 11:30. I'm sorry, 11. Andrew will come on at 10:30 with us, and then take some questions, show you his trading, give you his take
yeah.
on the way the platform was today, and yeah, go from there. All right, so
One thing I can say, Carlos,
yeah,
we're always telling people about trading maturity and how to manage your trades. So on a day like today, right, if you're not confident, there's no harm in just sitting out the market, just waiting. Those that, trade in a manner this doesn't affect them as much, then are willing to take advantage. Why am I saying like level up numbers? Sorry, Nvidia and Tesla are both looking like they're about to halt, but
no, I think we're
I
back to
don't
some
trust my
fun.
platform at all. So
Well, actually,
anyway,
can we halt to the? Yeah, we could. So, what is
yeah,
the percentage
absolutely.
here? Nvidia's at 87, right? We're up $10, 12
But
from the low.
it's usually within a limited period of time. Like it's got to be within 5 minutes normally. If you're up
It is within
5%.
5 minutes. Oh no, so yeah, we got a ways to go
Well,
if
I
it's
mean,
5 minutes.
so we could. I mean, both Tesla and Nvidia have had a big pop in the last 5 minutes or so. But
Yeah, they'll have to get to
I don't.
103, 104 for Nvidia here.
Yeah,
So actually, it can. It actually
I'm
can.
not. I'm not. I'm not convinced that now my level 2 is even accurate. So,
Yeah. But before this,
oh, yeah.
you were saying something, Peter. Before this, I think.
Anyways, indeed. So, all this aside, as I mentioned, I got a live trader with me here, right? JP, there he is over there.
Hello,
Well,
JP.
he's here with me live. So where is he? There he is. There he is. See?
Very
Sitting
nice.
here in the corner quietly. But he was just telling me that when we last sat and talked, we were talking about the need to journal. He's like, yeah, I know I need to journal, but I hate it, and I get it. Like journaling's never the fun thing. But he was sharing that he started journaling and has noticed a significant improvement in his trading over the last little while. So there you go. It actually does work. If you do the stuff you don't want to, often you can learn from it, right? What did I do? What do I need to do differently? The journaling I find is a very valuable part of your trading. So don't overlook it, people. I know it's not fun. It's the paperwork of trading, but it's got to be done.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
after losses.
Exactly. Nobody wants to journal after losses, but those are the best times because that's where you learn the most. So you're talking sports, Carlos, right? That's some of those sports. That was one of the quotes that Jordan was known for. Is right. I learned a lot more from my losses than I do from my wins. So
Yeah. Yeah. Trading's the same way. I agree. Agree 100%.
yeah. So journal, people. Journal.
Journal. All right, let's see what is going on across the board here. So, Tesla up, everything green now. Tesla's just right there, borderline from their previous day close line back and forth, green and red. Nvidia nicely in the green here, 6%. Hood also green, PLTR massively green. I mean, these guys went up to 81.80, so really nice. But yeah, everything just kind of going to the upside here this morning. Gen VR back at 17, halted on the way up now. So so opened up, hung out, and then right back up, another halt again on this one. So it's been a wild ride. Man, I have serious FOMO today. Serious FOMO. But I do, man. There's so many.
I hear
Looking
you.
at the charts, look at the charts now. Like again, been trading for so long that you know when you would have taken a trade and when not. And I keep saying Nvidia would have definitely been in this trade. It would have been awesome. But PLTR, same thing. Beautiful trade there on Hood. I mean, it's just a lot of good 5-minute RB breakouts that I'm not in any of. So it's the FOMO is real, but got to control it. Got to control it and be back tomorrow and hope that the volume is not this crazy. That's all we could do. There's not much we could do here. So, but if you did manage to pull off a trade, pull the trigger on this type of chart situation, good for you. Hopefully you did well.
Yeah, it's a shame sometimes if you don't trust your platform or your data, then you just can't take the trade. But
Yeah.
good for you if you did out there, but just be careful whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
Look at Nvidia, it's just all over the place. I can't.
because that's part of the
Interesting.
confidence too, right? Like when you have all your criteria hitting, you build up the confidence and you kind of get a better decision making. When you take off a big leg like the charts, for me, it's tough, right? It's tough to trade like that.
What's interesting is I'm seeing things moving in blocks here. If I look at the charts right now, if I look at the charts for the Qs and the SPY, right, the overall market indices, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta all look just like the SPY and Q charts.
Yeah.
Tesla and Nvidia look slightly different, but they look identical to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, to be honest, but it's
I
interesting
think
to me
it's just,
that
we've been
Tesla and
talking
Nvidia.
about this. Yeah. No, go ahead, Peter. Tesla, Nvidia.
I just said it's interesting that they are almost identical to each other, but don't exactly look like the market overall. Everything's pulled up, everything's got that same upward movement, but just in terms of the short-term price action, there's something going on there.
PLTR halted. That is.
Did it really?
Oh, but on the way down. Oh, that sucks. So hopefully, I mean, Andrew Ray's taken out a bunch. It already got up to 81 something, but it halted on the way down. It's just my charts are so off; they're not reflecting what's happening. Look, the charts are still showing that we're going up to 80 when we're actually halted.
See, that's what
So
my chart
behind.
looks like too.
Yeah, so behind. Yeah, Kevin, they got messed up again. They're acting weird here. One more time. So, I told you, Peter, there's those $3 trillion that were pulled out. These people are sitting itching where to put this money in. They're buying lower. They're buying lower and just, it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money that, again, just did not disappear. People think, oh my God, this $3 trillion disappeared. No, it didn't disappear. People took it out and put it in their accounts. It's somewhere. It's not just like it vanishes, right? The winners are obviously the brokers. They take their commissions no matter what. But that money's it could come back, and we're seeing some of that coming back here, man. This is nice.
Well, keep in mind, it could come back into other markets. The equities market is actually the smallest of the three, right? The currency and bond markets are much bigger independently than the equities market.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more money sloshing around out there in bonds and currency than there is even in the stock market. Well, although that seems to be the thing we focus on because it's what most retailers look at. So.
Yeah. Yep. Is Hood gonna halt here? Is dropping? There's no way to trade this. Man, people are reporting all kinds of issues. Some people can't log into that Interactive Brokers account. Not seeing that, but it's a very interesting day. That's Nvidia down to 94. PLTR halted. Yeah. All right, guys, we could answer some questions because I'm not gonna trade. I'm over it. I'm not gonna trade. It's just this is not ideal. So let's get to some questions. Let's be productive here. What do you guys have? Any questions we can answer? We'll do that. Well, Andrew should be joining us in a couple of minutes here. Is the market reacting to some kind of news? No, I don't think there is. And I know the biggest news we have is possibly the Fed can call an emergency meeting, and there's talks about maybe doing an emergency cut to kind of offset some of the drops we're getting, right? So there was talks about that. How realistic is that going to be? I don't know. The president mentioned on the Air Force One that Powell, Fed, they move slow. They need to cut now. So he's putting pressure on them to cut. But, Powell doesn't listen to the politics. He just does his own thing. But if the data shows it that, hey, an emergency cut is needed here, Powell will do it. But the data has to show it, right? So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Fed speaker at 10:30. Who's speaking at 10:30? Because the only guy that really matters is Powell. But if a Fed speaker kind of spills the beans a little bit of what they're looking to do, that could be interesting too. So we'll have to see who's actually talking at 10:30. Why is
there was
PLTR?
a Fed speaker? There was a Fed speaker coming at 10:30. Why is my thing not showing it? Hold on a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you. Kugler, Adriana Kugler, supposed to be speaking.
Yeah.
Normally, any Fed speaker other than Powell doesn't typically move the market, so
Yeah,
it's
don't do much.
yeah, it's probably not going to do much.
Yeah. All right, what else we have here? Why is PLTR hold to in the green? No, actually, this is incorrect. This is what we're talking about, right? So if you look at my level 2, the charts are off. PLTR is not at 81. It's actually at 74. And I think it might have opened up now. I'm not sure yet because it's hard to tell. But the charts are wrong. And that's the price is actually at 74. So the charts are so delayed. Here, there's the halt that happened earlier. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you the wrong. Here it is. Here's the halt that happened earlier. And the price is not at 81. It's actually at 74. So this is correct. This is wrong. So it's not halted to the upside. It was halted to the downside. So again, this is why it's so difficult to trade today, because things are not matching up what the actual data is doing. But people like Paris, who trade off the level 2 and time and sales, could do well because they don't put a lot of weight on the charts like I do. How do you size your trades? A fixed dollar amount? Do you take into consideration volatility and sizing? Yes, I do take into consideration the amount of risk I'm taking based on the stock. So I won't take the same amount on Nvidia or Tesla than I would like on a AMD, right? They're different. So you got to manage that properly. As far as trades, I used to do it based on dollar amount when I first started. Now I do shares. So my hotkeys are shares. It's still related to a dollar amount, but it's a range, right? Because 500 shares on different prices could be different, how much you're risking. But as long as I'm somewhere in the ballgame, I don't have to be precise every time anymore. At first, we do recommend you do size, by risking dollar amount, like risk only 100, whatever shares that is. Do it like that. It's better. When you get a little more experience, you could get a little more flexible with it. Peter, I think you have a great webinar, and I wonder if that webinar is in Trading Terminal Academy. I'm going to go check right now because it might be there free for you guys. Hold on.
Trading the right share size for you is what it's called. So yeah, you can check and see if it's out there. But yeah, I still trade fixed size, so or fixed risk is what I call it. So which means I trade, whether it's $50 or $200 a share. Today I actually downsized it quite significantly. I was just planning to trade $20 risk because I didn't know what the heck was going to happen. But it doesn't matter. What I do is I fix my risk, the dollar amount that I'm willing to risk, and then I vary my share size to equal that risk. So the first thing I do is identify where my stop is, and then I just hit my automatic button, and it fills me for however many shares equal that risk between the current price and my stop. So it allows me to sort of automatically make sure that I'm, if I'm risking $200 to trade, I will not lose more than $200 because when the trade goes in, it automatically puts my stop loss at that $200 loss mark.
Yeah. So friends, let me show you this here. This is, again, I'm always amazed at how much free stuff is on there. Go to tradingterminal.com and click on Academy, or go to academy.tradingterminal.com. In fact, I'm just going to put the link right here for you guys, make it easy. Here it is. And once you log in, I'm logged in already. You could log in with Google, so it makes it easy. We don't have none of your password information. Pretty quick login. And you scroll down, and you're going to see free introductory courses. Click on View Course here, Variable Traders. Then you go by name, and look at all the free material that there's on here. You got stuff from Andrew. He has a couple of videos on here you could take a look at. Eamon, myself. There's just a bunch. And here's the stuff that we're talking about now, right? This one. Trading the right size for you. An amazing webinar. I've seen it a couple of times because you was doing, I think, you was doing a couple of presentations on it. Just awesome, awesome. Take a look at that, and that's gonna help a lot. And then look at everything else. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, and this is all free. This is really all free. So that's awesome. And send us reviews. I would love to put your review here if we can. So if you review it, you like it, put it on there, and we'd love to have that. But yeah, man, it's incredible how much free stuff is on there. So take advantage of it. Um, let's see. Is Trading View down for anyone else? It could be, Johnny. I don't think this is a DAS issue. I think it's just a data overall. This might be a NASDAQ 90 issue. It's just data. Right? It's just the amount of data being processed, right? It's just causing problems. Like the reason why pandemics are so destructive is because you put such a stress in the system with the volume of people that get sick all at the same time, right? COVID probably was not a big deal, but if you had small amount of groups getting sick, when you have this entire amount of people hitting the hospital at the same time, you create a stress in the system that it's not meant to do that, right? And we probably could have figured out a solution sooner, right? Because I think some things the doctors did initially didn't help or made it worse, right? Without getting into too much details. So this is the problem now. We're getting so much volume that is creating a stress in the overall system here across the board. So again, that's just what I think it is. It could be something completely different. Like somebody forgot to wake up this morning and turn on the fan in the server, and the server overheated, and now you got this. Just don't know.
No, Carlos. I think that's it. I'm looking at the RVol, the relative volume signals here, and for the market indices, they're up 500% today. So, yeah, it's
Yes,
the
it's a
volume is
lot.
pretty massive out there.
Yeah, it is a lot, a lot. Um, yep. I'm glad things are moving up though. This is good. Uh, JNVR now it's gonna come a graveyard to a lot of traders, right? Because now it's dropping down. Volume, well, you can't even tell the volume is down because we have not been letting it trade. Like it opens up a couple of minutes, halted again, but the volume seems to be dying out.
It's hard to maintain volume when you're, halted for most of the trading session.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, when it does reopen, you can just look at those volume spikes, right? They're getting lower and lower each time. So
And look how it's funny you mentioned. Look how bad it is. Since the market opened, we're going on 30 an hour and 4 minutes.
yeah,
We traded.
yeah.
This is a minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes, and that's best case. It could be less because this could be like 30 seconds, right? So that's best case scenario. How much you traded so far in an hour and change.
Yep.
Good morning, Andrew. Let me get the
Hey,
volume into
what's
the
up?
chat. Hey,
Go
man,
to the
great
chat, please,
trade on
guys.
PLTR, man.
Man, we
Nice.
killed it on killed it on PLTR, but we got killed on the rest of the things.
Yeah, yeah, that was nice. And that's fun. I was looking at the charts. I'm like, the only reason probably you didn't add was because you didn't have the charts working properly and just working off level two. But looking at the way you
Yeah.
trade, when it consolidated, I'm like, I'm surprised Andrew didn't add here. But it's probably because you didn't have the visual on the charts. But yeah, nice, man. Nice, nice.
Yeah. So it was pretty good, but the issue that I had on my PLT, I actually looked at the trading terminal charts because our simulator was working very nicely. So that was the situation. So again, you can see my script, my chart. So the
Uh,
White House says that the pause is fake.
Jeez. Look at the market now. The market's dropping again.
Now market is dropping again.
Man, that was what a rally that was. That was amazing.
That was amazing for 5%. Yeah.
Yeah, I grabbed some Tesla calls, 230 calls when we really started to rip there. And I've been trading a few SPX puts and calls. Wow, man, look at this thing drop again. The SPY's dropping again. How's everyone's day today? mean, it's crazy if you've been able to grab some of these outsized moves. But yeah, DOS has been really difficult to trade with. I've been using the price action on my book map, which is actually pretty good. Seems to be pretty accurate. And I've got Trading Workstation IBKR seems to be fairly good as well, getting accurate quotes. But yeah, it's been pretty challenging to trade if you're trying to use DOS. I wouldn't have even bothered. Good Tesla. Wow, some of the price swings on some of these stocks have been amazing.
All right, so at least we didn't have another 10% drop. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, IB Care wasn't bad today. Yeah, if you were on the right side of some trades here, you certainly did well. Man, we've gone from all red on this scanner on my master list to pretty much all green, and now we've gone back all red again. Wow. UAL was halted. UAL's come out of the halt now. Airlines, Delta Airlines reports Wednesday morning. I think there's a lot of concern about what they're going to have to say about travel and their bookings. I think a lot of people are concerned about the travel industry. Well, SPY just continues to drop here. So much for that news.
The euro is ready to put the zero tariff on industrial goods, that they say. And the White House says the quote from national security, the economic advisor to the president is fake. They're not aware of any 90-day pause. Nice, 1700.
So did he actually say that, or was it just something that some rumor that got thrown out there? Because you never
Actually
know
don't know.
nowadays.
It's just
Yeah.
things happen so fast that you don't get the chance to source check anything.
Yeah, I know, eh? It just happens, and all you can do is really trade the price action. Some big orders on Tesla back down at 220. I don't know if it's going to go there or not, but it seems to be holding 224 right now.
Wow, man, I can't imagine if you're a big head for hedge. That's why, like, Bill Ackman was also really crying because imagine you're a hedge fund, you can't just do anything. Like, if you want to
Yeah,
buy puts to protection and then it squeezes and then you have to cover your shorts, and then, if you're crying for these small accounts that we have, imagine you're a hedge fund, you're just getting knocked out
yeah,
left and right.
no kidding.
Like if you're a short bias hedge fund and then this tweet is coming and then market rallies 6%, this is a nightmare in Wall Street. Like they are really paying the price for doing good so much in the last couple of years. Like it's a real, like everybody's in pain. Like Bill Ackman tweeted yesterday, he was going nuts that I beg President Trump to stop doing this. Like essentially they're begging, and they all have access direct line to the president and Treasury Department
Yeah,
and Commerce Secretary. They all have access to phone numbers, and imagine just keep calling it. What the hell is happening? Yeah, I think Bill Ackman
yeah, they're
probably can.
fine.
Yeah,
Not
like I
very,
wouldn't be
not very happy
surprised.
now.
I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of today we're gonna get another news about tariff reliefs, or maybe President himself tweets or something. Because I don't think anyone wants a circuit breaker today. Like nobody wants a Monday, a Black Monday. It's gonna be bad. Even puts
No,
US in a weakened position. Like if you're Wall Street gets capitulated, you are in a weakened position because people say, okay, well, we're gonna wait. You get capitulated. I don't think they saw this coming. Honestly, I don't think the White House saw this kind of crash coming.
no, I didn't. I don't think they really expected to see this kind of market reaction. But like you said, I don't know if they care. Uh, at this point, I think that it's a long game.
No, it's I don't I know that the stock market is really not the economy, but to some extent, capital. If people get capitulated, it impacts long term. Like a lot of margin calls. I got margin call Friday. Like a lot of people are getting margin calls, and um, like even in Asia, I'm sure those panics margin calls are. It does impact like the expansions, the hirings, and it might take some really good time to recover. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, in reality, is the most democratic, situation is the market. You have zero control over it. Like remember that what happened in 2009 is two banks got capitulated, like Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns, and then they trickled down into the whole world financial market. I don't think anyone wants today become a circuit breaker.
it just makes for more bad news.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to trade right now. Still, DAS is still DAS is not doing
Yeah, DOS is
6-5.
still not acting well.
Yeah,
Still having problems with DOS.
So MP is asking a question on YouTube that the shorts are in trouble if the market is going down. So it's all really goes back into the risk management. If the news comes in that the tariffs are postponed, you saw the market from -4% rallied up plus a 6% move. And this move impacts the options market and the shorts have to cover. So these kind of explosive moves, like exactly like happened on GME short squeeze back in 2021, 2022, this kind of things happens impact the whole financial market because the financial market is not I buy Apple and I short Apple. It's just the whole options activity and the derivatives around it, similar to financial crisis. It's not only the price of one asset; it's about how these are actually going to, um, connect with each other. Um, so that's why nobody wants this kind of explosive moves to the upside or to the downside. Because if the market gets capitulated, some of these hedge funds blow up. It can trickle down into the systematic risk to the market. So I think the best thing that is the market is gradually going down, which I think probably White House was thinking that maybe market is slowly for a couple of during the Reagan for the first 2 years, market slowly was going down, but this kind of uh, you know circuit breaker drops,
Volatility.
this kind of
Yeah.
volatility is dangerous to the integrity of whole financial system. If a couple of these big funds get margin call and they get liquidated, it can trickle down into the whole system. Like again, I got margin call on Friday. I had to take a very, very heavy loss. I think in Japan and in Asia, there is a lot of leverage margin calls. I'm sure they got, and it could be very dangerous. I don't think anyone wants this. Not even the people who don't care about the financial markets. Like Scott Bessner was essentially saying that, you know, stock market is Wall Street. We want to do change the policy toward the mainstream, but even those guys don't want this extreme volatility.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, it just affects the business sentiment, and it also can affect consumer sentiment as well. I mean, even if people don't own, stocks directly, like most people, but they still see all the headlines and stuff. So, like I said, businesses don't want to invest if it's an uncertain economic environment.
Yeah, it looks like the volatility has gone down significantly. Okay, so at least Qs are kind of flat. SPY is only 1% down. It looks like this volatility has come down. Maybe the market is not going to rally again 4%, but at least it doesn't seem that the panic is in the market. So it seems that market may be grinding down a little bit, which probably White House wants a little bit time to negotiation starts. And I think the time is only in their favor if the market doesn't collapse. Like it's going down, grinding down like 2022 is okay. Everybody can survive that. Everybody can reposition. Everybody can. Again, I personally, my opinion doesn't matter, but I think now that this shift has started, I think all Americans should stand behind this move, even if you don't like this policy, because now that it has started, the ship has sailed. I think it's best for people to stand behind it to get a deal at least. Um, in my opinion, really doesn't matter, and people are just debating it all the time. But in the last couple of days, again, because I was extremely invested, I was really watching a lot of these Scott Bessent interviews with Tucker Carlson. Was really nice because even though Tucker Carlson is a very controversial person, but the questions that he was asking was very, very nice, and he wasn't talking too much. He was mostly listening. So it's on X of Tucker Carlson. It was really nice, like what he was saying.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, Dow seems to have settled down now. We seem to be seem to be getting some decent quotes, and the market seems going up now, getting a bit of a rally back here, maybe.
X 12% up. Yeah, United States still, because it still is one of those things that extremely get impacted by the tariffs, because the president wants to open up the steel to the world, and there's a lot of tariffs on U.S. steel all around the world. What a day! What a
I
day!
don't think
I mean,
I don't think the U.S. really. I don't think the U.S.
go ahead.
exports steel. I don't think they can make enough. I think they haven't. They don't have enough for their internal use. That's why they. That's why they bring stuff in.
Yeah, I'm glad I witnessed a day like this. Again, the most moral of the story for me as an investor was, don't try to buy the dip on the leverage products. I mean, again, if I had all of my position on VOO, which I had 2 months ago, I'm down 20%. I can survive that. I'm not going to get a margin call. If the market goes back up 20%, I'm back to break even. Maybe in the meantime, I can sell some covered calls, make some cash from it. But when you go and switch into leverage products, you get destroyed. And this was happened second time to me. And again, if I do this third time, I'm a fucking idiot. And I have to really, yeah, get my lesson on that. Wiped out 2 years of my profit, like over $2 million loss. It's okay. Part of it comes as a tax break for me end of this year, which is okay. But again, I was amazed, and I'm super angry. I'm still worth $10 million, but it's just the fact that I lost like this really hit me. Like, I was really thinking of suicide and stuff too, because now I see why in 2008 people, jumping off the, things and stuff. It's just it's not about money. It's about just such a bad decision that I did. Yeah, this was not, it was worse than TNA, a little bit higher, but it was less percentage of my net worth. Like, TNA loss was almost wipe out. Like, even if I put my divorce, I had to pay probably $2-3 million to my ex-wife. I still hasn't paid that, but I got almost wiped out. Like, if my divorce the same day was happening, I would have come zero out of that. But I recovered from that. But this one is still, number wise was bigger, but it was a smaller percentage of my net worth. Plus, one thing that I did was I paid a lot of mortgage on my properties in the last 2 years, so I have some cash at least sitting over there. They're not as worth as they were before, but at least I have some things. Yeah, it was a very, very, very interesting thing happened to me in the last couple of days. I was really suicidal. Like, my friend came and stayed with me, and it's just, yeah, it was not a fun time in my life. Like, and again, not the money, because money will come back eventually, but it's just the bad decisions making that I did. No, thanks guys for the support. Exactly. Like, thanks for the support. What I'm gonna do is probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna replace, like, I don't trust myself with a $10 million account anymore. So I'm gonna separate my day trading and my long-term investment account, and let's focus on PNL. Like, I want to show you make $2,000 a day. I don't want to make 100,000, $250,000. Like on TSLL, I bought such a huge position and I got made money, and then I got, shorted the SPY calls, and I get lost it all in one day. Like,
Mm.
Brian called me and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, do you remember Brian who called me and said, how many shares you
Yeah,
took? Like,
yeah,
then Mike was there. Mike was at my home. He saw that, and Mike, I told him that I lost my confidence in managing big accounts with these leverage options and stuff. And so, what the hell am I doing? Like, it was the whole week of summit as well. It was so busy, no sleep, too much activity. My mind wasn't clear. I got to change that in the next week or so. I'm going to completely change my day trading. I'm going to focus my recaps not on PNL, but on education and the systems, building a system. like, in my mind, I also got into the competition with Avi. I want to show I make more money than Avi and stuff. Like, funny, it's stupid, but these kind of things coming to my mind. And this guy is making more money. Let me make him more money. Let me post. I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, and I cannot afford to have another wipeout.
No.
Yeah, ego is just messing with you in this kind of things. And I realize that I'm not ready for managing such a big account. You either have to sit on a good position and slowly build a 60-40 portfolio, or just give it to professional. Like I was talking to yesterday with another person, and he said, just give it to a professional. Like they do risk management. Yeah, they take 1-2% a year, but they know how to hedge it and stuff. I don't even know how to hedge my position properly. I buy puts. Okay, what's strike price, what expiry date, what are they're all mathematical formula for that. The Wall Street has published the research on it 100 years, and it's just very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, I have a relatively small account that's managed by somebody else. Just funds that are, like I said, they'll probably end up dying, and they'll end up with my kids, but whatever. But yeah, that's why I keep my swing trading accounts and my day trading accounts separate. Pretty much always have. I don't know. I don't know if people extremely rich are happy. I don't know. I guess they are. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't, never had like $70 billion like in stock like Mark Zuckerberg. Which is riskier? That's a good question. Um, I think there's both an element of risk. With day trading, I mean, you really with day trading, you basically your risk is primarily how well you can manage your trades. Do you honor your stops? Do you only take trades that are in your trade book? So that's kind of the biggest risk that you have with day trading, and you've got to do it. You've got to do it on the fly. You can't. With swing trading, you can take your time. You can plan your trades. You don't have to make snap decisions. But with swing trading, you've also got the element of risk. That's what happens when the market's closed, or what happens overnight. Over the weekend, we could have gotten a couple of tweets from the White House that could have completely changed the complexion of the market this morning. So yeah, you've got different risks, and I guess those risks basically sort of change over time. I mean, right now it's very risky to kind of own stocks overnight, and that's if you've been watching my swing trade videos, you'll know why I haven't. I've been taking very few swing trades right now, just because I don't know what's the next event that's coming down the pike here, and there just seems to be a constant flow of news flow that's jerking the markets around. So again, I guess you could say I'm controlling my risk with swing trading by not swing trading in this environment. So um, yeah, really, I guess it kind of depends on a lot of things, which is to determine which is riskier. So sorry, long. That's right. Tough. Exactly. So anyway, that was a long-winded answer. And it's really just hard to say, but I would say, again, depends on your personality with day trading, and it depends on the environment that we're in with swing trading. So as those change, the risks change.
What you're trying to hit.
Okay, thanks, Siri. All right. I am going to drop off. It's 8:02, and markets seem to be, Nvidia's popping up here. We're getting a bit of a rally on the Qs. Seems like we're getting a bit of a rally on the SPY here. So PLTR looks like it's ready to break out of this little trading range it's been in. So maybe we'll get a bit more of a rally here today, a bit of a relief rally. So we'll see what happens. And 3 o'clock today Eastern time, we do get a consumer. What is it? Consumer credit. So that might be a market mover today. So just be aware of that. And anything, of course, in it could come out like this morning. We get that epic rally. So, all right, guys, take care. Keep it green. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, guys, we're going to switch off to Paris. I'm going to cut the audio on the chat room, and I believe Thor is up in the chat. Hey, Paris, how you doing, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Excellent.
Awesome. How are you, Carlos?
Good, man. I'm good. No trades for me today, just because the charts were crazy. But I saw your trade earlier on Tesla, man. Just awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
So good
Thank
job,
you.
man. Can't wait to hear you break it down here. Over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, man, hit that thumbs up. Paris is up next. Going to take you to what he traded. And yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I for some reason did not have major code issues. Maybe I don't know, maybe people who are using interactive brokers might have those. But I use Schwab and I did not find a lot of issues with the codes. So that's lucky for me. But I saw a lot of people in the chat room had that issue. Hey T-Man, hey Sam, Chaudhry. So yeah, I had one of my best days of the year today. So that was amazing. So basically it was Tesla that gave me that major profit. This move from 228 to 250, that's close to a 22 point move, and that was a big move. And there was an inefficiency. And people who identify that inefficiency is, it's very, you have to react very quickly. So the inefficiency that I saw around at this area was there was crazy number of orders flowing at 228.12 or something. Like crazy. Like something around like this point, like 500,000 shares in a matter of heartbeat. And the price did not move. I was like, why? And that was the inefficiency that I was like, okay, the price has to move because I saw all the buying pressure there. And there was a few seconds delay of the price not moving. So go back and watch the tape around this area because the price did not move for a few seconds. A huge volume, and the price did not move. And I have to go heavy. Like that's where my edge lies, is where when I see something and the price is not moving, that's an inefficiency. Usually you'll not see those inefficiency on a day-to-day world or day-to-day move. But when you have this kind of volatility, even the exchanges, the systems of the exchanges, the data centers of the exchanges are not, are not capable to handle that, this kind of volatility at any given point. And that's why you're seeing all the code server issues and all of that. You don't see it on a daily basis. And there's a reason behind that. When you're able to identify that inefficiency, it's a free money. It's like It's you are trying to uh, it's just trying to get a better price when the price has already moved up. It's a sure shot money that you can make on it. So even the price would have moved up, the values on the quotes were not changing, and you can capitalize on it because the volume was in your favor. So it was a straightforward trade. The second I got in, it popped up like $5, and I have to scale out very quickly. And in a matter of like 4 minutes, it popped up like $22. And that's a big move for a Tesla, because Tesla was not moving much. So tried to short Tesla. Let me try to bring up on the short. So I was short biased on Tesla at the open. I shorted at the open first minute, second minute, and then it did drop. I was like, okay, now it has to pull back and then drop lower. It came to my break-even point. I did not like it, so I stopped out at break-even. So did not make any much of a money, just a little bit of profit there. And then it did move on the downside. So I missed this move on the downside, but then it came back up. And this is something that I am bad at. One thing that I'm not good at is trying to capture reversal for a break of right here. But the other thing that I'm good at is that when it tries to hold above the opening price and tries to consolidate around this area, I'm good at capturing those continuations. So that's, I was playing my strengths around, and when I saw that uh, particular inefficiencies on the exchange code, I was like, I have to grab this. And that's where I was able to make money off of that. So Nvidia and Tesla. So Nvidia, I'm more short biased on Nvidia. I traded Nvidia at the open too. So let's answer. I'm using IB and codes didn't seem off. That's good. Maybe it was a DAS thing. I don't know. Maybe yeah, consolidation is good. My order got stuck here and it ended up filling up right at the top. My position is currently still running in the loss, but recovered. So yeah, this happens. And one thing I recommend is uh, when you are stuck in that, try to get out as quick as possible. It can very quickly, mess up your account. So Adrian, thanks. Kyle, yeah, easy. Taylor, how much you captured in this move? Taylor, it's 22 point move. It looks small though. It looks from 228 to 250, so it looks small. But I'm thinking of shorting Tesla now, so I think Tesla has a chance to drop. So I'm thinking of shorting Tesla, and I'm not going bigger size. I've made very good money, so I'm only looking for I will not have a room of close to 10% of my current profits. So let's see if it pulls back and see what it does. I'm thinking of shorting Tesla. This is the move. So 228 was the breakout. It tried to hold the 228, and now it broke out of the 233. Yeah, let's see if it's really a breakdown. Then I traded Apple at the open too. So I traded Apple at the open. This was I tried to short Apple at this area. The first trade I shorted Apple right here. Let me bring up the Epic pen. I tried to short Apple at this area. I tried short Apple. This was a what do you call the wedge pattern right here, and the sellers were taking over. The sellers as soon as the sellers took over, it dropped a little bit, which was close to like a $1 drop. I did not cover anything. I was looking for the low of the day, but then very quickly it squeezed up, so I got stopped out. But when it came back, generated the liquidity, and then when it tried to sell again, and that's when I shorted heavy here. This is where, this is something that I talk about it all the time, the trap, and generate the liquidity and then sell off again. So that's where I shorted again at 177.50 and then scaled out to 175. That was a $2.5 drop. Added more at the pullback, looking for a continuation on the downside, but no, stopped out break even. So that was my trade on Apple. And then I didn't touch it after that because the character of the stock was changed and then squeezed to the upside, and now it's coming back. But now, and Tesla looks like I want to short it. Let's see if I want to short it. I'm taking a small short on Tesla. Taking a short on Tesla. And let's see if it has a little bit of. It has to roll away from the VWAP. Oh, it popped up. So it has to roll from the VWAP. Yeah, it's popping up. Yeah, to be honest, it wasn't a good entry. But if it comes back below 231 again, I'll think about adding more. But it's not a great entry so far. Yeah, I think it's gonna pop. I'm getting out, guys. Not worth it. Not worth it. Yeah, good. I think uh that's somebody slammed it. Somebody slammed it. Fuck. Well, there's a news. There's for sure there is a news. This is somebody slammed it. Holy crap, what a move on the downside. Fuck. So, yeah, oh man. Yeah, there's a news here for sure. Yeah, I don't, yeah, that's a very good drop. The second I got up, that's, yeah, now it dropped. It's a big volume. I'm taking a shot. It's a very difficult quoting thing that's going on right now. I don't know what the news is. Yeah, I'm getting out, guys. That's okay. I'm not gonna trade again. I gave back my 10% back. So no more trades for me. Yeah, that was an idiotic trade. Yeah, I agree, Kamal. I think a lot of times what happens is when the news is right, it very quickly drops to the continuation, and I was looking for a momentum on the downside. But yes, I agree. That was chase. That was a chase. No reason for me to get back in and FOMO. And in my head, I'm also like a little overconfident with the fact that I have money to lose a little bit. And then that's why, like, okay, now I'm not gonna trade. That's like, this is good dropping for sure. There is a very good chance it drops. Yeah, something that I'm good at is getting at the pullbacks, and I chased it. Oh, that's the news Peter just shared. In the current market, guys, be very careful of not having bias on the either sides. You can actually trade both sides in the current market. And that's the beauty of the volatility as well as, and don't swing trade, don't hold it for a longer period. You'll get stuck. There are some general rule of thumb when you are in that high volatility, high VIX area, and the VIX is currently trading at like 50s or 45 or something. What is VIX trading at? Yeah, VIX is at 44. And yeah, be very careful on those. These are general rule of thumb. Don't hold it. Be uh, the bias can change anytime, any moment. Like for now, I was like short biased for a little bit before I was long biased. Uh, in the volatility, there is nothing that makes sense. It's just the volatile atmosphere that you can trade either side. Uh,
Paris,
hey, Peter.
Paris, don't do it, my friend. I'm reading your face here. You said you were done trading. You're looking for a spot to get back in, aren't you?
I was.
I
I
know you
wouldn't
were.
lie.
I see
And
you there.
I was thinking I think it's a good area to go short.
You want your money
Uh,
back. Only do it if it's technically strong. Don't revenge trade this baby.
I
There you
have a
go.
bit.
I'm not ranting. I'm providing
Now you're
friendly.
saying it, now I'm like, should I?
Well, I just don't want my friend Paris to give away more of his beautiful gains from that lovely trade you had earlier.
Oh man. But I think
You do
it has a
you.
chance to go. I think it has a chance to drop. I am very much.
All right. You make your
Nah.
decision. I was just reading your face,
Yeah,
not
I
the
wanna
chart.
stick to the yeah, I wanna stick to my rules. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade, guys. I'm not gonna trade. I it is in this like high volatile times, it's very uh yeah, I'll call it. Thank you, Peter, for jumping in. I should not be doing it. That I will regret. But this is going down, guys. This is going down. I Yeah, this is going down. This is going down. If it breaks the 226 level, and it will very quickly drop to 224 and 222. That 226 is trying to hold, but this is weak, guys. I I cannot emphasize this enough. This is weak. Oh, it dropped 225.70. The Flush, I think it's gonna break 225 to the downside. Some buyer stepped in, popped up, let the sellers take over. Sellers are trying to take over. I think it's weak, guys. The way I'm watching the tape, it's the 226 is trying to hold and 227.30 is trying to sell. Uh, but the chances are it pulls back and then goes lower. So it could be a triple bottom. I can get that, but the more it stays here, the more chances are it gonna break on the downside. So now 226 broke, 225 is gonna break as well. The volume is coming in. 226 is trying to hold again. 226 drop. It's just a matter of time it's gonna break, and then it's gonna flush very nicely to the downside. Oh, so 220, 225 is an important, like it actually broke the high of the day. Yeah, I think it's going down, guys. Peter, I would have gone short now. Looking for the downside, but I'm gonna respect it. I'm not gonna trade. I think that's why it's very important to step away from your system. When you're done on the day, step away. There's no reason for you to, like for me, everybody in the moderators or everybody who's there, they want to be at their times of this thing. But usually, if I'm done on the day, I would not be in my front of my system. And that's why, because when you see something, you tend to find setups and things that are in your favor, and then you uh, sometimes not able to, control things because you know what you're seeing, and you have seen something of that kind in the past. So so it's very important to step away, very important to not stick and stay in your system and keep trading. That's usually leads to a very but we all together today would see it break of 225 on the downside and it sells to 220. I believe that it's gonna go to 220 again. Tesla is very nicely consolidating at the bottom, and when it breaks to the downside, it is gonna flush to 220. Very weak. 226, such a nice area that it's holding. But then when it flushes below this, now it did, and now it's gonna flush. Let's see, holding again, 225.70, but I wanna see a very good flush from here. Now the sub buyers are still trying too hard to buy, and once they give up, you'll see it on the tape. They haven't given up yet. So they're still trying to buy. 225.70 was buying. But once they give up, you'll see it on the tape. So they're still buying, they're still buying, they're still holding. Let's see if the seller try again. And when it's flushes, it would be you would see all the slamming of the bids on the tape. Okay, the buyers bought back again. Let's see if the buyers are able to hold it or the sellers are become aggressive again. So 228 it popped up. So now the buyers got aggressive from their side. And this area usually becomes the shorting the pops area. So usually you do not want to see 228, 229, 230 area. That three areas, you do not want to see them hold. If they hold, then yeah, the character is gone. There is nothing there. But if they start selling again, that's usually a very good sign of shorting the pops. Yeah, now it's holding. So the 227 that was trying to sell, now they are not letting it drop the price, which is not a good sign for usually for shorting it. You want it to fail. Uh, if it's moving similar to SPY, does that mean it's the same amount of buyers or sellers on both? Not really, Manoj. Usually, in these environments, everything will tend to follow SPY, and that's why in these environments, it's always good to trade the SPYs or the SPY this thing versus the individual stocks because they'll have a very similar character. Uh, but yeah, it's holding 227 now, so I woke up so late today. It's not even funny. I woke up at 9:15 and did not even get a shower, nothing. Just woke up, oh, it's 9:15, came to the desk. But turned out great. So I have different tier sizing, what do you call Sambi. I have different tier sizing. On all the other trades at the open that I took with tier 2 size. Uh, tier 2 size right here at this point, and these last two were tier 1 size, and this was again tier 2 size. But just because of the move it captured, I wasn't expecting that move to be captured. I basically will have tier 2, tier 3, and load the board. And my risk profile is usually 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. No, Kamal. I have explored Indian market, but I haven't. I do not trade in Indian markets. So Tesla is holding nicely, but still holding below the area of this thing. So interactive brokers, Kamal Kishore. If you're outside US, try out interactive brokers. IBKR. So Manoj, I don't use IBKR. I'm in US, so my data feed is more into the Charles Schwab. So my broker is Charles Schwab. But data feed is coming from DAS. So I don't know how does it take, but DAS is uh, so I did have few issues with data feed, but it wasn't that bad as other people in the chat room. Taylor, I use Schwab. Yeah, I think 232. Yeah, it has that buying strength. So that 227 was bought back up. So until and unless that 227 breaks, that the conviction on the short side is now not there because I was expecting this 226 that it was broke, that 225.70 that it was buying. If that broke, that like all the people would puke. But at that point of time, even I was talking about it that I don't see that pukishness. I don't see that, the aggressiveness from the tape. And they bought back, which is good. It doesn't mean that it cannot come back down again. The sellers could take over again, but unless it is below 230, I still have a belief that it can go down, but the way the price action is trying to step up, like 227 stepped up, now it's trying to break the 230, the chances are very low. And it's all about probabilities. Yeah, guys, please throw us a like if you like what you're seeing. I would appreciate if you can like the channel and subscribe to the channel, like the video. So what is Apple doing? Apple is trying to bounce as well. Amazon is... Yeah, everything is a very similar price action. Very similar to SPY. What is Nike doing? Nike was... Anything interesting that is happening, guys? Anybody trading anything else? So things are trying to pop up. Oh, what happened? I went long TQQ by mistake. Okay, I'm getting out, guys. It tried to pop up. Oh, it did pop up. Okay, so that turned out to be good. Yeah, I'm all out, guys. I That was a mistake. All out. How did I go long TQQ? How did I do? No, not really. I don't know what I pressed. I did not press that hotkey that buys it. Yeah, I don't know to be honest. But things are strong now. Things are trying to buy, but I don't have a conviction on anything. So yeah, when things like these happen, it's better to get out very quickly, guys. It's not something. The same thing happened on me on Friday too, on Tesla. That wasn't a good trade, uh, because of the hotkey error. Tesla, yeah, Kamal Kishore, I think you were saying 232 before, so good triple bounce, triple bottom. For some reason, I don't like it, it works for a lot of people, but I don't believe in double bottoms, triple bottoms, or double tops, triple tops. I believe in the fact that they need to sell off. So good trade, Kamal Kishore. And that's where, individual uh trade book is really important. If it's a part of your trade book, you have done that multiple times and it works for you. At the end of the day, it's a game of probability. Now it's going back up. Things are strong. Nvidia is breaking out. Tesla is breaking out to 232. So, Kamal, Kishore, do you trade Indian markets? Tuesdays and Thursdays? Okay. Do they have order flow or tape in Indian market? I don't think so, right? They only have like they don't offer the quotes that you see here, right? Time and sales. Yeah, 20 counts, very limited ones. Yeah, I agree. Nvidia is trying to pop up. Things are moving on the stronger side. Things are looking strong. Tesla is also looking strong. Yeah, things are looking strong overall. I'm not looking for anything, to be honest, Daniel. I'm done for the day. I am just looking to see if I get an opportunity that grabs me by the face. Let's say that. I'm usually done at this time, and to be disciplined, I shouldn't be taking any more trades. But in my head, I'm always open to the fact that if something grabs me by the face, I'm not going to be resistant to it. So that's the whole reason I'm still looking. And I'm thinking that Tesla is a good long right now. Nvidia is trying to pop up, and Tesla is the laggard here who's trying to catch up to Nvidia and the SPY. So you would see that 230 hold of Tesla. I'm thinking that 230, 229 is the area, but I also need to see some buying pressure on Tesla too. Like just because Nvidia is catching up and SPY is catching up uh, and breaking out, it gives me that it's a laggard, but it does not give me a conviction to go long because I have to see buying pressure on Tesla as an individual stock. Just because SPY is moving on the long side or Nvidia is moving on the long side doesn't guarantee that Tesla is also gonna move on that side. So that's the whole thing that I'm holding on to. And yeah, that's something that I'm thinking right now. So 230 dropped again, and now it's dropping to 229. See, that long wouldn't have worked if I had longed on Tesla, and that's why it's very critical to understand what is a constituent of, like, what is your setup that looks like you define it as a grab you by the face setup. So yeah, it's kind of choppy, to be honest. Not a great Oh, Daniel, TQQ. No, TQQ was I don't know. It was on my screen, but I did not trade it. Uh I This was a hotkey mistake. I mistakenly got in, but immediately got out. So TQQ queues are just trying to, so what, understanding what queues is doing, right? It sold off. This is called as a dip and a rip rally. So this is a dip, this is a rip, and then now it's trying to, this rally has already occurred, the chances is gone. Now what it's trying to do is 415 is trying to hold, but it's making lower lows. So the place you want to participate is on the short side here to 415 if you want to be earlier than anybody, and then, or if you'd like trading breakouts, you wait for 415, let it break out, and then look for a downside to 400s. That's what I would think. I would be more short biased from the big picture standpoint, and things are dropping again now. So this could actually be a I'm actually short TQQ, guys. I'm actually short TQQ. Let's see if it drops 40. Let's see if it comes to 40. So let's see if it has a chance to drop. This 4011 keeps buying, which is not a good sign for me. Yeah, the buying pressure came back in. Let's see if it's just trying to. Nope, it did not drop. So now it's gonna lift here. Let's see if there's a final selling pressure. It's trying to drop the price down. It's trying to hold. So 50 is trying to hold. Okay, I'm getting out. All out on this thing. No more trades here. Now I'm done. This is irrespective it goes down. I'm not taking any trade. This should have worked. This should have worked by for me. I saw that seller. No, I've tried footprints this thing, but it hasn't really benefited me, to be honest. Okay, guys, I should be closing my system right now. Before I give back my all of my profits back, I think I'm down 30% from the top. So I don't want to trade anymore. So take care, guys. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys tomorrow.